Day one is a new day of the fantasy.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna fucking.
The year started off with one of the biggest moments of them all.
And new. And Bailey. I mean, they got to be coming back really soon,
Where the
right?
fuck is Bailey? Please, for the love of God, come back.
Yeah.
Hashtag bring back Bailey.
Somebody.
The following podcast is scheduled for one fall. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MACKDOWN Podcast. Starring any combination of the following. Introducing Mikey MacD, Mr. B, A.J. Mitchell, Cam, and Kimmy. It's the MACKDOWN Podcast.
It's all on you.
Well, welcome to the podcast, the MACKDOWN Podcast. This is Mr. B.
Mr. B.
We have today in studio MacD
That's me.
and Kimmy.
Hello.
And from parts unknown up north,
The great Wanda. I'm from the great,
The great
Wanda
North?
AJ.
AJ.
It's Mr. AJ. How you doing over there? I'm in the box. Can you see me?
Hope everybody had a great
can
new
see you.
year.
Happy
did,
New
man.
Year, everybody.
Yes, happy 2022.
Didn't plan on staying awake the whole time, but actually did. Actually did.
AJ was in and out.
AJ came back to life before the ball dropped.
Right
So
before.
our ball, at least our ball.
Very true. Very true.
We drop a lot of balls around here.
Oh,
Well, hey, man. We ain't been able to go play no disc golf because, it's finally snowing
Oh.
outside.
freaking crazy, man! This wind over here. Shout out to all of our listeners out in Boulder County, though. I'm glad the fires finally calmed down. We had some crazy stuff out there, and I know, the wildfires is some crazy shit, especially with that wind. But we got that
110.
snowfall, put everything out. Mike might not believe it, but I always say God works in mysterious ways, and it happened. So there you go. He is my imaginary best friend.
That's right.
Said it for you, Mike. There you go.
Appreciate you. I don't want to be the bad guy, always.
Don't be the bad guy. But Mr. B, thanks for the intro. That was
Yes,
awesome.
sir.
It's a new year. It's definitely a new year. How you guys doing out there in the great South North? Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Door smitten, everybody smitten it.
The Great
Hear me
South
out?
North, yes. I'm doing great in the Great South North.
It's good. How is it down there? It's doing good?
It's warming up.
Yeah, the snow's
Snow is
melting.
melting.
Well, that's
So
good for you guys.
maybe next weekend we can probably get a game in.
We'll
I'm
see.
down. New game, new year. I got to get some new stuff, too. You guys set up that basket in the front yard. We should just go out there and go crazy.
Do some bitch and putt.
It sounded like you said it was a bitch and putt. I'm like, what?
Pitch and putt.
Pitch and putt. I thought he said bitch and putt. I'm like, oh, wow.
Yes, AJ got us a little pitch and putt for the front yard for disc golf, which is great. Like a little portable basket.
We can even use it
Yeah.
in the backyard.
We
Which
could-
would probably be better, actually, because of, cars and stuff.
We could take it to the park when there's nobody
Yes.
out there and put it in the middle of the field.
That's what I was thinking too.
And then just throw at it.
Hell yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
work on some of those shots that you guys like to do. Some close, some
Yeah,
far ways.
trick shots, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. B bought me a soul. It's a pink one. So
That thing looks sweet. I can't wait to see it fly, though, really. Because it's like
And
almost
like-
like that luminescent kind of. Have you brought it down here?
yeah, I did actually.
I was
It's
gonna
in your
say.
bag
Talking
now.
about she's talking about a disc, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he
not
didn't
an
just buy me an
soul.
actual soul.
Yeah, your soul is
That's
How-
just the name of the
I have my own soul. It's spelled SOL.
Which,
She's like, it's pink.
shout out to Discraft for that one. That's my favorite disc right now.
Yeah, they listen
It
to us
did,
all
yeah.
the time. Disc, yeah.
Mr. B threw it down in the creek and was like, "Nope, I'm going to get it."
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that I
sacrificed
wasn't.
his socks
Well,
for
if
that
it
one.
wasn't for the fucking wind, I swear to God, it would have been a lot better than it was.
It is weird because when it comes out, if the wind gets under it, it just gone.
Yeah.
It just takes
well,
it.
I think I angled it a little too much, and I definitely tried to put too much behind it at the same time. But I was trying to fight through the wind too, but then the wind had other ideas for it.
Screw the wind. The wind has been crappy right now. If the wind is listening, if the wind is listening, you can too follow us at MACKDOWN Podcast as well.
110 miles an hour got clocked here, dude.
110.
110 mile an hour wind gust, dude.
We're living in the future, aka apocalypse.
Oh, it's here. It's finally here.
It's starting, guys.
Yeah, well, speaking of a new year, we got a lot of new stuff going on. You know what I mean? I mean, we're going to touch a lot of different subjects today. Don't you guys think?
There's a lot of wrestling coming up for all those out there. Hey, Mr. B, can we we can move that down. I was going to say if you want. Yeah. Sorry.
Just so you guys know, we're in the middle of an art collab with our cousins and myself.
Yeah, and myself as well.
Yes, and it's a MACKDOWN podcast.
Not me, sorry. I'm not an artist.
He's a fixer, not a creator.
Exactly. Well, I can build
I
shit.
like that.
He said he can paint within the lines.
He can build, but he doesn't create.
You guys are definitely not
Build and
giving
fix,
yourself
that's
enough
what
credit. So AJ over here drew like a little man in a boat, and when I mean a little man, I drew a stick figure little guy, and he was in a little boat.
Stick figure boat, stick figure man.
Stick figure man in a boat, and then these guys drew like the most beautiful horizon, stargaze, all type of shit around it, and made this look like
abstract.
like Casey Masterpiece barbecue sauce good. I mean, it was great. It was great, and I was like, well, damn, y'all some talented motherfuckers down there.
Well, I
like that down there.
I sent him a picture of the of what we're working on, and he's like,
beautiful.
"Oh, dude, that's the tattoo."
Oh, the MACKDOWN
Definitely.
podcast?
Yeah, if we get 1,000 subscribers, we get that tattoo right there.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Right,
dude.
so
That would be
all
tough
you
to
guys-
do, but it would be badass.
all you guys that are listening right now who are subscribed at MACKDOWN Podcast, tell your friend to tell their friends, tell your friend's mama, and tell your mama to tell her friends that we know wrestling, like we said, from the golden age to present day and everything in between. It's the MACKDOWN Podcast.
Speaking of that, to get back on the rails here, AJ, you were saying, this is a pretty big week of wrestling right here.
Yeah, we'll
So,
throw it over to AJ.
We got a lot of shit to go through. So no better time than now to go and throw the ball over to AJ's yard.
AJ, there it is, baby. It's AJ's yard. Yes, live and fresh. New year, new me, new everything, including from Raw to Rampage. We're going to touch every subject. This week in particular, Raw displayed to us with the United States Championship and what it means. Apparently, it means you get losses because that's what Damian Priest has been doing. We're going to touch a little bit on that. NXT has a big show coming for the new year with some New Year's Evil. We're definitely going to preview a lot of stuff that's going on with WWE superstars making that jump and debuts. Had a debut this week on NXT, and not to mention a big debut on AEW Dynamite. We're going to touch into Mercedes Martinez jumping in over and making herself all elite. We're going to touch on SmackDown. Wait a minute. We're not going to touch on SmackDown because SmackDown was with John Cena this week. You couldn't see it. So
it was a tribute show.
It was a tribute show of the best of 2021. So it was pretty much COVID. So we'll jump. Speaking of COVID, we know what happened with Roman Reigns. But before I even get to that, AEW Rampage was going crazy because the women on that show, I'm standing up and applauding you girls. You four ladies, you killed it this week. We're definitely going to touch base on a hardcore tag team match that definitely, in my opinion, showed some diversity.
Stole the show.
And we're also going to, speaking of diversity, we're in a new year, and we're going to see about the new day, actually the new day one, actually the new WWE champion. His name, Brock Lesnar. Yeah, we're definitely going to jump on the day one review and touch base to find out what's going on with that. Sorry, Roman. I know you were there, but you weren't. But it happens. Speaking of the fantasy that I wished happened, fantasy wrestling, we're going to definitely touch on that and show you why the champ is here. Big four on the line, winners and losers. Join us all all for some fun and more right here today on the MACKDOWN Podcast. Back to you guys in studio.
That was phenomenal, AJ, and no pun intended, but every pun intended.
They don't want none.
Well, yeah, man, back to us in studio here. So there is a huge ass week of wrestling. Like we were just sitting here talking about it before the show when we realized, like, holy shit, we got. Well, first of all, we just had day one, and then Wednesday we're gonna have the AEW show that they're, you know what I mean? They're gonna have a world title championship match.
But before that, you're going to have New Year's Evil.
New Year's Evil with NXT. And then Saturday, we got Battle of the Belts. Like, there is a lot of fucking wrestling this week.
Coming up. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Not to mention all the other shows in between that.
Definitely. Well, speaking of Battle of the Belts, like I said about Raw, what do you guys think about this whole Damian Priest situation? Him defending this championship, but losing via disqualifications constantly over and over. I mean, where are you going with this?
Dude, Vince doesn't want to keep any one person too strong. Like, he's all about this 50-50 bullshit, and if this is how he feels like this is advancing the story, I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way because it makes him seem like a loose cannon all of a sudden out of nowhere. He's like all of a sudden snapping, and you know what I mean? It's like Ken Shamrock all over again.
Well, what's probably going to happen is whatever match he has with whoever, it's going to be some kind of no disqualification probably. Or it's going to lead to that maybe eventually.
So now he's the new United States Hardcore Champion.
Pretty much.
That's
well,
trash.
no. I'm saying like for this storyline, not saying like it's going to be
permanent.
Permanent for that belt or anything like that. I'm just saying
because, I mean,
with him holding the belt right now and this happening so often, it's got to be like, okay, well, we can't let you get away with this, so we got to put you in a no disqualification match.
They'll probably turn around and put him in like a fucking cage match or something, because doesn't Rude keep getting involved and like, I don't know, man. It's like Rude and Ziggler, I mean, this whole weird, I don't know.
This is the only reason why I bring up this whole thing. Ric Flair, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Sting, Lex Luger. Those are the names that you put in association. Harley Race. Those are the names that you put in the association with the United States Championship. You have that title right now. And don't even get me started on the Intercontinental. You have that title right now. Just being, I mean, I get it. Damian Priest, I feel, can definitely be, he's got the look. He's got everything you want that superstar. But with that particular championship, I mean, come on. It needs to... In so many ways, I feel like he's bringing the title down almost. It's like him having the championship right now is not relevant. There's no relevancy to it. It's almost like Shinsuke having the title. When Sami Zayn does win this championship, and trust me, Sami Zayn will win the Intercontinental title. You say fuckery, I say no. I say this is going to be the final straw that says no more conspiracy. I am the Intercontinental Champion.
Why wasn't that match on the day one pay-per-view?
It's keeping, who knows? And even McAfee said that. McAfee even said that on the pay-per-view in the commentary. He said, we got a championship Intercontinental match tonight. And I could have sworn somebody must have yelled in his ear because Michael Cole immediately corrected and said, nope, that match is not happening tonight. Are you okay? And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm just excited about, you know what I mean? They auto-corrected that.
Which is so dumb because you lost a match with Brock and Roman. Why wouldn't you want to add to the fucking show? Not to mention,
I'm pretty sure they're ready to go.
I'm with you because they there's no prestige with the titles anymore, and I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons why wrestling doesn't feel as big as it used to. It's because there's too many hot potatoes. There's no emphasis anywhere whatsoever on any like. No one takes like super pride in wanting to be the champ.
Yeah.
Like, and you can tell, and like with,
it's a prop.
Right, with Xavier Woods, with him winning the King of the Ring, it meant something to him, and he took pride in it, and you can tell because he presents that on TV. There's no one takes any pride in winning a singles title anymore.
Give Xavier United States Championship. Are you kidding me? He's going to elevate that title. Is going to be. You might even think that's the number one championship on the damn program. Much he's going to.
The way he would fucking present it.
Mm-hmm.
Present it exactly, and that's what it is.
Are you talking about the IC title or the United States?
Either one.
Either singles.
Oh, okay, because like he's on Smackdown, so it's only
it's Intercontinental. Yeah.
And that is the main word you said. VMD. That is the main word you said. Presentation. It's all about the presentation of the prop. You think Jeff Jarrett would have got over with the guitar, him just stringing it along, carrying it? No, slap nuts. When he smacked you upside the motherfucking face with that shit, yeah, it was a prop, but it was all about the presentation. You know what it meant.
Yep.
You know, LaParca was the chairman of WCW, but it wasn't the fact that he was the top of it. It's all about the prop he presented and the fact that you was waiting for that chair shot to come. You know, everybody can get a chair. Anybody can get a chair and use it. But having that chair as a prop of your character, once you win it, when Kevin Owens won the United States title and said he's the face of America, he didn't even walk on his face when he came out to the ring. He walked around it.
That shit was fucking great, by the way. He wouldn't even walk on his own face around the fucking...
Right, he walked around it. You know, it's all about the presentation.
I'd probably do that too, though.
I'm feeling like Damian Priest right now is all about presentation of the character, not the United States champion, Damian Priest.
Yeah.
He's not established as a character, in my opinion, to be a champion yet. If that's the presentation. He's not coming in as a character that I'm like, yeah, he's ready to be United States champion. When he won a North American title, I was kind of like, all right, you know, that's a cool little piece for him. But he's one of those characters that are not, in my opinion, needing a title to get over. He's more of like, once he gets over, I want him to win it. Like, he doesn't have that I want him to win a championship.
That's the thing, though. Vince McMahon, for whatever reason, within the last decade, has been like, you know what? We're going to put the belt on this fucking new kid, this new young kid, because, you know, it worked with Randy and it worked with Brock and all these guys. But it's like, they're anomalies, man. You know what I mean? Those guys came in as gangbusters. You can't do that because they tried to do it with Jack Swagger, dude, and they tried to do it with fucking... name any other young talent they brought in and tried to push to the moon, dude. Like right now, Austin Theory.
Yeah.
You know, but his thing is we're going to bring him in. Well, even with Big E, they gave him the fucking Intercontinental title as soon as he came in. Santino, they gave him the U.S. title as soon as he came in. That's just a way for them to try to... They're just trying to get him over to a certain level right away, and there's no organic build to it, and people reject it, man. And I feel like right now, Damian Priest... to your point, is starting to lose a lot of steam because it's just like there's really no reason why they put the belt on him.
Right.
You know?
The people who should be walking around with the United States Championship right now, Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler,
100%.
Either one of them.
Bobby Roode to me is the epitome of a singles champion.
Just
oh my goodness.
He's like the gatekeeper at that point.
The glorious Bobby Roode as the United States champion
back.
or Intercontinental champion would be perfect, dude, because that's an established character that's over. That's like, yeah.
There's no holes in his game, bro. He's like a Mr. Perfect or a fucking.
Yeah.
I'll say Brett, just in the sense of technician style. He's never going to have a bad match with anybody.
Bobby Roode has no character right now.
Zero.
He's literally
He's a dirty dog.
He's Dolph's lackey is what he is.
Literally, yeah. Like, he doesn't talk. He doesn't really do anything. He doesn't have his own personality. He's just out there.
Yeah, dude. Playing a part.
Yeah. He's just a wrestler. He's just some guy. Like, they just kind of stripped him completely of his... Almost like they did with Big E in a way. But, yeah, they just stripped him completely of his own... flair.
Again,
you know what I mean?
is that Vince McMahon going, hey, this is getting way too big. Like, we can't... Because Vince does not want any one individual to get bigger than the name WWE. Like, his ego is so inflated, it's so ridiculous.
Well, that's what you should want. You should want your people to get bigger than...
You should want your guys to transcend, because it just brings more eyes to your product.
Exactly.
So, like, the whole glorious thing was...
WWE champion, then,
the glorious thing was one step away from being fucking pop culture for real. Like, it was in football games, it was in hockey stadiums, baseball. I mean, it was everywhere.
Look at Fandango. This motherfucker hit. See, that's another person who would have been... If you want to drop a United States or Intercontinental title on someone who debuted and was over, as soon as that started happening, that was
it.
You put the title on him, not the world, but the Intercontinental or United States, and you have him dance his way. I mean, Dancing with the Stars was big. Yep. You want a transitional character? You built one right there. Fandango can't dance to save his fucking life, but you know he's going to be great on Dancing with the Stars.
But he's going to do it. Yeah, he's going to try.
They teach him.
He's going to try.
You know?
I mean, it's all about if you are a gimmick wrestler, because that's what WWE is, and I understand it. You see, I always tell you what WWE is. It's gimmick wrestling. Yes, I get it. But if you're gonna put a title with some prestige on it, on a champion, give me a character that I can get behind in the sense of saying either I'm gonna boo him or cheer him, but there's gonna be some relevancy to it. there's no relevancy to Damian Priest right now.
I
You're making him
agree.
look like he's a crazy man. Okay, great. He's a person who snaps. Okay, thank you.
Dude, his entire run in
been there, done that.
WWE so far on the main roster has been fucking
Minuscule.
I kind of forget
luster.
about it. I'm like, oh yeah, he's the
Yeah.
champ. Oh yeah, I don't
Well,
even
right.
remember that he's around. Like it's even though he's having matches and he's on TV, it's like I don't even.
He doesn't
when
register.
I don't think Damian Priest. I don't. It doesn't even click when I'm thinking about
No,
wrestling.
and your singles champion should be like quote unquote the next guy up.
yeah,
Right. He should
know what
be
I mean?
ready to step into the WWE title role.
That's what that title's
sorry,
for.
that's
It's
what I
like
believe.
you put them in that role to see if they're ready for that next fucking step. You
Right.
know what I mean? And
well, why are they just
Step-
leaving it on Shinsuke for a lifetime? It's like, good
right,
God.
with all the talent they
Like,
got,
the
it makes no
Intercontinental.
sense.
Yeah, it's like Shinsuke's. He's not the guy.
No.
No, and at one point you thought he was the guy when he had that big match with AJ at WrestleMania. You thought it was just going to be one of those crazy things. I actually thought he was going to win the title when he fought AJ at WrestleMania. You know, because you know when you win the Royal Rumble, it's almost like it's like an 80% chance you're going to win the damn.
Yeah, they're
damn
pushing
ship.
you. I mean, they're really pushing you in that spot.
Exactly. He had that big entrance at WrestleMania. That shit was great.
Yep.
You know, but he went down and he turned heel. Okay, good. So what? You know, but you never put him back in the role again. I mean, he eliminated Roman Reigns for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Out of the Royal Rumble. That's how he beat Roman. You
Yep.
know, like, come on. So it's all about the prestige, and that was my main
Yeah.
gripe about the whole United States, because I'm a big believer in the United States title. I've loved the United States Championship from WCW, NWA, not the current NWA title. Oh, sorry, Chris Masters. I love you to death. I follow you. You're a homie of homies, but
He's
your
not,
belt
he's not
looks
the NWA
terrible.
champion. Oh, you're talking about
Yeah.
the national.
He's United States.
United
Yeah, he's the
States
NWA
national
United
whatever,
States
yeah.
champion. Oh, that belt. I know it's got prestige, but
Well, hey, speaking of championships, let's talk about the tag team champions. RK Bro.
RK Bro.
Let's talk
Yeah, they
about
pretty
him.
much owned Raw for like the first hour.
Yeah, so they had separate individual matches, right? Also, Riddle's going to be having, which we'll get to in a little bit, a match
Yeah.
triple.
Like a transition.
Yeah, like a mixed, like a tag
Yeah.
team or whatever.
So it's going to be a
Threat,
6-man.
yeah.
It's going to be.
Or six man.
So, do you think they're hinting at a RK Bro split up?
No.
No.
I mean, I don't know.
I think they'll be together for a while longer.
it kind
Well,
of
I mean,
seems like
they're
there's a
both
little
each having
tension.
individual matches. Like, so, like, why aren't they having a tag team match? They're like, oh, you're a tag team and you're a tag team, but we're going to split the both of you up and have both individual matches. Weird.
Well, I've seen that a lot, even in AEW, that you'll see like a tag team feud, and they'll split them up and have them do singles against all four of each other,
Yeah.
or stuff like that.
It's
So
weird.
it happens.
It is.
It's just a way to drag the story
Yeah,
out.
it's-
But
you
then
know?
RK
Yeah.
Bro's now going to
Which is
NXT, having his like this own little separate thing.
Well, only Riddle, and only reason why
Well,
is
okay,
and
you're right.
We'll use this we'll use this as a transition here, because there's nothing else on Raw. I personally didn't take anything else from Raw. I just felt the United States titles being
The
abused.
show sucked. That's what happened
Yeah.
with Monday Night Raw.
All right, so transitioning over to New Year's Eve, we'll touch on the Riddle base. So yes, I understand what you mean, Kimmy, of having. You have two singles wrestlers who teamed up are now the tag team champions on a major show, but you got somebody going to show, I guess B, technically, or the C level show or the minor show, to try to upbring some of the talent that's down there. Only because Riddle has such a big tie and connection to a lot of the guys down in NXT. You know, he's like really close with a lot of guys down there still, and
So
when
is
you
Damian
pull
Priest,
like,
yeah.
say it again.
Damian Priest is he's always down
Yeah.
there.
Yep, and because he wants to work with them, I actually like the whole thing. AJ's going over there. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I feel like NXT does need a little light right now because they are gonna. And I saw the preview yesterday. I don't know if anybody else saw, but you're right. This looks like they're gonna be going to Peacock.
Yeah, that's what it seems
It looks like they're gonna. It looks like they're gonna be going to Peacock. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be a Peacock show.
Once
which
their
is like-
contract ends with USA.
Yeah,
But I thought
So-
I thought I just seen something that they just signed like a multi-year extension, like
yeah,
back in
because
like
USA
May.
is owned by Peacock. It's all the same.
Oh, okay.
boat.
So
It's just
so
moving-
it's
just moving from
I
one
gotcha.
channel to another.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Well, we'll see what the ratings. We'll see how long NXT sticks around.
So I'm definitely seeing that. As far as you go with the separation of RK Bro, I don't really know if that's in the works yet, due to the fact that they are such a hot commodity right now, and their merch is ridiculous. Their merch sales are through the roof, and I don't know if Vince wants to pull the plug on something like that so quickly, especially with WrestleMania season coming up.
I was gonna say, I mean, your main objective when WrestleMania comes up is to put the best match,
Yep.
to put the best match
For
or the best
profits.
card together for
Right, for profits,
Right.
for shares, and right now, and
Right.
you know RKO is a hot commodity. You don't want to break that up. Maybe around towards SummerSlam, you might see a breakup for them, or maybe a little after Mania, you might see, you know, between. But from here to Mania, they're solid. That's the team going forward. I don't see any other tag team with the exception of Alpha Academy, that they're really trying to push as being the ones that's gonna.
That's the
gonna beat them
only
for the
other
belts.
tag team.
Mysterios are
have.
there.
Yeah, well,
No,
what they're
yeah,
trying to
well,
push. I
see,
mean.
I'm seeing
Their gear is
dissension
badass,
in the
by the way.
Mysterios.
Well, and they have Street Profits too, because they did have a match on Monday night as well.
Yeah, they did. They won the tournament.
I see a Street Profits heel turn, by the way, coming in the distant future.
Hey, I'm fucking 100% down with that because, dude, Montez is a heel 100 times more.
Yeah.
Just
He's
he's
gonna
one,
agitate the
100
crowd
times more
like a
extra
mother-
than he is now as a
Yeah, he's gonna-
babyface.
Ooh, I just spilled all this.
Oh no.
Oh, shit.
He spilled it. He spilled it.
For the love of God! He spilled it all. All right,
Well,
but
yeah.
One
So
thing.
back to the train. Oh, go ahead, Mr. B. I'm sorry.
Well, one thing I'd like to say about Raw before we close off Raw, if we're still talking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little transitional
I'm
conversation.
just making sure we hadn't
Yeah.
going about the transition or something. Anyways, like Bobby Roode and all these other talents we've been talking about not getting, elevated or pushed. Part of that problem I see is they got so many people on each brand, and then they only do so many matches, and the rest of the time is just filled with promos. But or like in Roman, they keep going back to Roman sometimes like 3 or 4 times a night.
Not this
on
week.
SmackDown. Well, yeah, I'm just saying when he's there on the show, like he may come out in the beginning, and he's going to have some backstage a couple times, you
Okay.
know. But what I'm
Can
trying
I
to
ask
say
you
is,
this question, Mr. B?
Well,
Can I
I-
just ask you this question before you finish? Who do you pay the money to go see the show to? Do you go to the money
Well,
to go see Dolph
no.
Ziggler, or
well,
you go to the money to see
what
Roman
I'm
Reigns?
what I'm trying to say is though, if they would manage their time better, like sometimes we'll see someone come out to the ring, then they go to the commercial, come back from commercial into a promo or a vignette,
Yep.
and then that person's been in the ring already 10, 15 minutes before their
Not
match,
that
It's
long.
or
awkward
before their
live.
promo.
It's awkward when you're there live too.
Well, yeah,
because they're
I
just
know,
standing
yeah,
there,
yeah.
walking around, talking to the ref. Just
It's
Yeah,
in the
no, but
dark.
what I'm saying
It's
is,
a good 3
if
minutes,
they
realistically. It's
if they
like 3 or
cut
4
out some
good
of that
minutes.
other stuff like that, like not everybody needs like 2 or 3 segments backstage a night.
They
Give
need
them
better
1 or
time
2.
management.
Yeah, better
Yeah,
time
we gotta-
That's
management.
what he said.
They have to
Spread out,
realize
maybe
that.
fit in, especially on Raw. You could fit in another match if you just
I think
take
they
out
need to
some of
have
the extra
more.
fat you don't need.
They need more storylines.
Yeah.
They need more stories because, like, right now, like on AEW, I commend them because every match, basically, for the most part, has some kind of tie to a story.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
for the most part.
WWE,
No.
stories out the window. They're just like, hey, Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus the fucking whatever. And it's like, dude, what the fuck are we
Versus the
doing
Viking
here?
Raiders.
Who
Like,
cares?
what?
Like,
Well, here's
nobody
the thing,
gives
though.
a shit about that. Nobody.
But why are they doing that though? Like, why are they pulling Damian Priest and Finn Balor and all these people that we keep seeing in other storylines? Like, bring, like Mr. B is saying, more people from the back and give them some
Yeah,
matches too.
anything.
Like, I don't need to see Damian Priest, who's already a champ, in a fucking tag team match with Finn Balor at all. That doesn't even make fucking sense. So yeah,
Yeah.
like bringing out some other talent just to have some fucking squash match. Why not? You know
Well,
what I
no,
mean?
and I get that.
I mean, you're
and that
paying
makes
these
sense. You got a
guys
3-hour
and-
program. If you want to put some talent out there, I mean, I know,
Yeah.
like if you have Ali sitting in the back, and you've got, give me somebody else that's
I don't know, Ricochet.
Ali. Did you
Ricky-
just say
you got,
Ali? Mansoor,
Ali,
Ali, fucking
Mansoor.
dude. There's Cedric. There's Shelton.
Okay, how about
there's,
this? You got Jinder Mahal sitting in the back, and
Jinder.
you got Ali sitting in the back, right? You know what? You guys go out there, get over, have a good match, and get over. Don't give me Keith Lee and what's the guy who just left Karrion Kross and tell them to go have a match on Raw cold.
Just
with
out
no
of
story.
nowhere, they're like, hey, this is going to be a
Now-
hot match. Let's get this on TV, and it's like,
Now granted, as a wrestler, you always know you got to be ready at a drop of a moment. You could be going. Your night tonight to go fight Brock Lesnar for the title. So let's do it. You know, that's the mentality you have to be at all moments, that at any drop of a dime. The problem with that is that when you got people who are not in that frame of mind trying to go out there and get over, and you got people who are in that frame of mind,
You're
sitting
not
and
allowed to
catering.
get over, bro. You're not allowed to go out there and just get over. You're
Dude,
not
Well,
allowed to do that
see,
no
I
more.
mean get over as far as putting on a good quality match. I don't mean getting over with the crowd as far as like getting on the mic and talking on the shtick and going off script. I mean, when you have a match, bro, you really are a free agent at that moment. You really are a free will. You are dancing. They can't tell you how to dance an exact number. They can
Yes,
tell you how
they do.
they want the dance. They can tell you how they want the choreographed dance to go. But it's up to you to perform that choreograph. And if you can't perform that choreograph, and you know you can't perform that choreograph, or they're putting you in the wrong choreograph to perform, it's up to you as a talent to speak up and say, hey, look, this is how based upon how you want this to work and how I know I can work, I know this is not achievable.
Well,
And you have to be real with that. And
Well-
if you're real with that, in the more in the sense of saying, hey, I can put on a decent quality match with this person and
right.
show my talent.
And that's what I'm
make it
saying. But
extort to
if
more
you got the
people.
mindset of coming in there like you're going to go get over, you're going to flounder, and you might as well just not even go. You know what I mean?
It's
But,
no,
I mean-
the places, if you want to go get over, you got to go to AEW.
Yeah, you can't do that in WWE. You got to
If you
know
want-
you got to know your role when you go there.
Right.
It's
WWE
a television
now,
show, but
if you can't put on a performance if you can't put on a Disney performance, they want Tom Holland to play Spider-Man. That's what WWE wants. You know
Well,
what I mean?
yeah,
They
good
don't
luck.
want Tom Holland to come out there and get over. They want you to get Spider-Man over.
Which is fine. Hey, if that's the role that you want, then great. Then you need to put people in the correct position to succeed for that kind of
Exactly.
product.
Well, and
That
here's-
is the
and
here's-
problem.
that's their problem. They can't do that.
This is what WWE is missing as well, because they want to choreograph everything, including the audience, but they're doing a terrible fucking job at pacing the show in order to make us fucking interested. And I think
Yeah.
that's part of the fucking issue. You know what I mean?
It
just
all comes
drags
back to
on
time
and on.
management.
And so to answer
Yeah.
your previous question, AJ, like who do I pay to go see? I don't go to pay to see one person. I go to watch wrestling. I go to watch good matches and be entertained for 2 hours of my life, right? So I don't want those 2 hours of my life to be this awkward mixture of watching commercials in the fucking stadium and yeah, like
Yeah, it's
Mr. B
weird.
said, going through and like watching these backstages when I already literally am watching this person walk around in circles in the middle of the fucking ring makes no sense. So then you come back from commercial and then we're supposed to be like, yay, when you just had your entrance 10 minutes ago. How am I supposed to be hot for that?
Yeah, the
that makes
crowd's
no
dead.
fucking sense.
It's dead. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, the pacing of your show's bullshit. Do better. Do better.
Virtual
Use your
crowd
talent
is much
better. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying they could possibly free up more time for another match
Yep.
and feature more talent
Yeah,
that they have, because
it's
they
too
have so
random.
much talent, but they're not utilizing all of the talent they have.
Yeah, they just keep reusing the same few guys and then everyone else just sits in the fucking back, which is, it's a shame.
Well, speaking of utilizing talent, as we said before, NXT is going to be utilizing a lot of talent from Raw when they're introducing AJ Styles and Riddle onto their card with a slight addition of a little bit of Walter. Guys, what do you guys think about New Year's Evil?
I'll go ahead and start. So just to speed it, because you know me. My take on NXT is like whatever.
Do you want
because-
You want the rundown on the card first, Kimmy? Do you have that rundown? Do you want that first to see what's on the card first before we
I was
dive
gonna,
in?
yeah, because I was just gonna try to go off the top of my head of the ones I know for sure. But
Okay.
if you have it, we can go ahead and just go.
So the one I do want to start with, which I want to come right back to when we're done going over this, is the unification of the championships.
Yeah, that was my main take.
Cruiserweight and the North American Championship will be unified.
Yeah.
And then that's between Roderick Strong and Carmelo Hayes.
Camarillo.
Yep.
It's not Camarillo.
I know
No,
it's
it's
Carmelo.
Carmelo.
I'm just fucking
It's
with
Carmelo.
you because you said
Yeah,
Camarillo.
he's trying to say caramel.
I'm like, it's CAR, motherfucker.
Carmelo. Yeah.
I can read today.
Caramello.
And then they have the NXT Women's Champion triple threat match: Mandy Rose, Cora Jade, and Raquel Gonzalez.
Boo boo boo.
That's gonna be vicious. That's gonna be.
Here's the thing: I like Raquel.
I do
So
too.
do I.
She needs to do more. They need to do more with her.
I don't like Mandy as well. Go ahead.
And then we got Ciampa and Braun Breaker.
Yep.
That's
And-
the title.
Then we also have the Riddle and MSK versus the Imperium.
That's gonna be.
That'll be a great
Ooh.
match.
And then, of course,
That's what's
AJ
still the show.
Styles and Grayson Waller.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
So,
yeah.
based upon that, I am going to just set it off right here and say, the 6-man is going to be crazy, but expect AJ and Waller to be the sleeper of the whole night, bro.
I don't get Waller yet. I mean, hopefully he'll change my mind. I mean, he's got great heelish tendencies where I'm just like
Yeah,
I don't like him, but
I really like- I really like
he his I don't know. He doesn't make any sense to me yet. So, but I'll give it time.
That's because you're not paying attention,
That's not
brother.
true. That's not true, bro. I'm
Waller,
watching.
Waller,
He's paying the
no,
most attention. Are you good?
Exactly.
I know. I'm going to tell you now. What I get from what I get from Waller, though, I'm loving the heel. I'm loving how he's separating himself from the pack, so to speak.
Well, yeah,
because-
they're purposely doing that. I mean, yeah.
And in my opinion, he's going to be a great counterpart for a face Braun breaker when Braun finally upsets Ciampa. But with that also being said, he's been going around with this girl Tiffany Stratmore, or Tiffany. She just debuted. What was her name again?
Stratton.
Who just debuted as well. And I know Mike's got some choice words about that, and I'm not gonna lie, so do I. But I'm thinking Waller is definitely going to give him about a good this year. I think 2022 is going to be his real breakout year, where he's going to surprise us all. And don't be surprised if him and Austin Theory.
Braun Breaker.
No.
Who?
Austin Theory
Waller.
and
I
and
thought
Waller.
I thought you were saying Braun Breaker.
No, Austin Theory and Waller are
Okay.
shoved down your throats this year as the two biggest pushes that you see.
Yeah, and Waller's going to have go
WWE.
away heat if they do that.
Austin Theory just makes no sense
And
to
yeah,
me.
Austin Theory already has go away heat with me. So
He's got little baby teeth, like little baby kid teeth. He doesn't even have like a real big boy smile yet.
And I see what you're saying, AJ, where it's like you could see where he could be the future. It's like I get it. I see where you're coming
Just
from.
charisma wise.
And this is just based on Vince McMahon's philosophy. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's
But-
John Cena Jr. all day, baby.
It is. It totally
It
is,
is.
dude. But it's
It
goofy
so
and
is.
stupid. It's I don't agree with it, but of course, over the last how long it's been, I haven't agreed with Vince. So
Anyway,
Vince
we're
is
getting.
finding-
yeah,
Vince
we're
is
getting
trying
into
to
the
find
weeds. Let's
Theory.
get back on track.
I'm just gonna leave it at this. Vince is trying to find Austin Theory a gimmick. That's what Vince is trying.
Well,
to figure out ways
if he hasn't figured it out by now, he's never going to.
Yeah.
So plain and
or
simple.
maybe he has. He has. Just moving on. All right. So like you said, back on this New Year's Day, New Year's Evil, I should say. So yeah, we got that Jason Waller and AJ Styles. I think that's going to be great. And then the 6-man, Walter coming back.
I'm
Holy
happy about
Christmas.
it
Yeah, I like Walter.
because I think Walter will be the foil to Braun Breaker. I think that would be the because fuck Waller, dude. I don't think he's not nowhere near ready for that spot yet.
No.
Oh yeah, no, he's not. No, definitely. No,
But
not at
I
all.
think right now, I think Braun Breaker and Walter is the money match that they can try to put on. Because otherwise, dude,
Chopped, bro.
after Ciampa, dude, Braun Breaker really has nothing. There's nothing really out there that excites me.
Well, and they're not going to move him up to the main card yet. That would just be a mistake,
Well, yeah, because then that leaves NXT with nothing.
right?
Yeah, because Braun is gonna have to go through. I'm pretty sure.
Von Wagner.
Von Wagner's one. What's this guy's name? The one that threw Kendrick down the stairs. That's with the cult leader guy.
Harland.
Harlan. I think eventually Harlan might try to step to him, or the other guy might step to him with Harlan as the heater. You know what I mean?
Harlan.
Joe Gacy.
Gacy, yeah. So I mean, it could possibly do that. I mean, you can have the underdog. One day, Cameron Grimes could try to step to Breaker. That could be a nice little feud
Yeah, I mean,
there,
they
and
could
trying to be the
possibly do
underdog.
They need,
know,
to,
'cause
they need to
Cameron
figure it out.
Because Cameron Grimes, in my opinion, Cameron Grimes is money. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and people with wrestling, and this is one thing I get about sometimes with the fans out there. They forget that wins and losses are not what make you a great superstar. Those are just. It's almost like that's a prop too. You know what I mean? Like
No, I disagree, dude, because you can't book somebody 50-50 and expect them to get over. You got to fucking write them strong. You got to have them win, because otherwise who gives a fuck? Nobody's going to care. I don't give a shit about a 50-50. Like most NXT talent and even Monday Night Raw right now, I'm like, who cares? Who cares?
Okay.
Nobody. They're not building any one specific person. It's just always like, oh, well, you got lucky in this match, and now you're in the fucking world title picture, or, oh, you got a quick little roll up here, you're in the Intercontinental title match. There's no one, within the exception of Braun Breaker more recently, and even then, they fucking made him lose to Ciampa right away. You know what I mean? But it's like they don't keep any one person super strong. You know what I mean? The last person they did that for was Charlotte.
Yeah.
Right. So
look what they did. Look what it did for her. You know, everybody wants to say, "Oh, she's been fucking coddled or whatever." Fuck that, man. When you have a talent like that, you keep them in that star
Right.
status.
But all I'm saying is that the wins and losses in wrestling don't matter.
Well,
In the
in the grand scheme of things, I see what you're saying,
Right.
but
That's all I'm
to the
saying.
fan,
Generalizing it.
but to the fan, if you're wanting to establish a person, we'll fucking even bring it back to Damian Priest. You put the title on him, but then we have this wishy-washy 50-50 bullshit instead of just a string of just dominant wins, decisive wins, even though we all know it's a work, whatever. You're still portraying a character on TV.
Well, it's no different than MJF. We all look at him as quote-unquote.
He's got 1 or 2 losses.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Right. They're all major champions.
That's important. That's important if you want to develop a character, because otherwise, who's going to give a shit about a 50-50 MJF?
There's a difference. That's keeping him safe.
No, you're
Safe.
keeping it. Yeah, you're keeping his character protected, man. Like
Right.
you have to do that if you want to establish certain people. Like nobody gives a shit about a 50-50 Super Bowl.
Well,
If there's
I'm not
two
gonna say
teams that are
wins and losses are
50-50, who
everything.
cares? You know.
Well,
The drama is like the Patriots and the fucking Giants. You got an undefeated team and you got a wild card team. You know what I mean? Holy fuck, who's gonna fucking win?
yeah,
I'm super excited about this. You know what I mean?
totally.
So there has to be a David versus Goliath situation where like Brock, you know, they don't book Brock 50-50, and look what it does for Brock.
But what I'm saying is that does the loss and the win hurt either or make either team?
Yeah, yes, because Bray Wyatt is a perfect example too.
Bray Wyatt is a heartbreak.
What about
But it's a
Undertaker?
perfect example. Well, they kept him strong
Just saying.
because he wins, and then when he loses,
It's
it
a big deal.
means something.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
like when you got like Bray, who's like winning, and then in the big time match lose, and then okay, win, get hot. Oh, big time match. Nope, we're gonna make him lose again.
Yeah.
At some point, the fans are gonna be like, well, here, this is the same old shit, same old shtick. He's gonna get into this big role and then shit out.
Yeah, well, we'll see what
You know?
happens, I guess. Do you think he'll win versus Ciampa or no?
I think yes. I think it's his time. I think he's gonna win.
Who do you think's going to win in the women's championship triple threat?
I hope they all lose and the title goes vacant. But I'm going to say Mandy keeps the belt because she's got the lackeys that are going to come help out.
Okay.
But yeah.
Cool. Well, what about the unification? How do you guys feel about that?
All right, that's the one that I wanted to talk about.
Just to touch base on year 2, I think Ciampa is going to retain, and I think Mandy's going to retain.
And what does that do for Braun Breaker?
Just keeps him in the, you know, keeps him in there.
Keeps him down.
Keeps him down.
Keeps him down. Really good quality in philosophy, Vince. Good job. Just have a bunch of mid-carders that mean nothing.
Yep.
It's great. Can't wait to watch that next episode.
Love it.
Unification Championship match, I believe it's going to be the Diamond Mine
No way.
rocking and rolling.
Carmelo Hayes, don't miss. When Carmelo Hayes shoots, he don't miss. That's what he tells you.
What are they renaming this championship?
I don't know. I think it's just probably going to be...
It's going to be a North American title.
It'll probably just be the North American title.
Yeah.
And then, which would be great if they just completely just did, unification and they just called it the TV title.
You
Make
just
it-
really want a TV title.
Well, I do, man. Give me something interesting to watch. Because, think about it. When John Cena was doing the U.S. Open Challenge, dude, that shit was great. Every week it was somebody new. It was fresh. It was, just something that kind of oh, okay, this is something new in the show. It's not same old shit, That would be great. But that's just me, I just...
And they were wrestling John Cena. The nostalgia with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got a
So-
championship match against John Cena. You almost won. You might as well just say you WWE champion at that point.
It's, you know, it's helped out some folks.
Kevin Owens.
I do
Kevin
like the
Owens
open
did it.
challenges.
The open challenges are fun, man.
That's what they should do more of to create storyline. Just that's the way you can have a match without having a storyline, in my opinion.
Yep.
And just to touch on what you said about the unification of the title, in general WWE history, when they unify two titles, they always keep the name of the higher title. So like when they unified the Intercontinental and the European, they just made it the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
When they unified the Hardcore and the European, they just made it the European title, and they just like absorbed.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it'll be the North American champion. That'll be the only title there. They're pretty much getting rid of the Cruiserweight title.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to have that belt anymore, to be honest with you. Hey, can you grab me one of those?
What would you like?
Yeah, whatever. I'm good with any of them. But yeah, I don't know. I think you know, it's like a takeover quality show, you know, because they're not really doing takeovers anymore. It don't seem like. So this is kind of like their you know,
Their version.
yeah.
Well, here's the deal too. The reason why I think Roddy's gonna win it, it'll make him the first 3-time. Right? Wouldn't it be the first 3-time North American champion?
Has Roddy won it twice already? I know he won it once for sure with the Undisputed
Yeah.
Era.
And then Velveteen took it from him.
I don't know if he ever got it back. Once he lost it, I don't think he ever had it. I could be wrong.
I mean, the card for the NXT matches do look pretty good, though. Moving on.
Moving on.
AEW.
Hey, before we go to AEW, just really quick on Wednesday night. So, Tiffany Stratton did debut, and just first impression, she's not gonna make it.
She's not gonna make it.
She's not gonna make it.
Why?
She botched the finish to her very first match.
Ooh.
She
Yeah.
ain't the guy, man. She ain't the guy.
She ain't the guy.
How'd she botch it? Didn't see.
I would have to watch. We'd have to watch it again, but yeah, I don't know, dude. It was just like
She was doing the backflip.
Her
trying to
finish,
hit
just something
with an
happened
elbow.
with it. Yeah, it just looked sloppy as shit. It just, yeah. I'm not gonna say she can't, like, you know, get better, but she looked super blown up too. Like, she looked very winded. But I'm not gonna sit here and critique because I couldn't get in there and do what she did. But you know, I just felt like, ooh, could have been a little better for the first TV match.
Yeah.
Maybe put her with somebody a little more, you know, because it takes two to tango. And the girl that she was in there with, I didn't even write her name down. It was so insignificant, you know. Sorry, girl, but yeah.
By
Yeah,
the way, he only
but
won it once.
It was just a score. It was an enhancement, you know. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that, and then I thought the finish to the women's tag team match for the winner to see who goes to the triple threat. I thought that match sucked too. Cora Jade and Raquel Gonzalez have no fuck. Well, Raquel does, but Cora Jade has no business being anywhere near the level of the card she's in right now.
They don't have a lot of female talent to pick from, so.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Well, speaking of female talent, and AEW Dynamite had a new debut. Mercedes Martinez.
muchly
now
needed,
only-
dude. Are we off of NXT? We
Yeah.
good? Thank
Yeah.
God. Yes, Dynamite. Thank you. Thank the Lord.
Mercedes Martinez, go.
She's all elite.
Dude, it's much needed in their women's division. Like, literally anything helps right now, and her coming in kind of helps give some legitimacy, especially if they're going to line her with God damn it, Jade Cargill. Because if they're going to put her with Jade, then unless that was just a one-off for her to come in and beat the shit out of Thunder Rosa. Is that what it was?
It was a one-off? No way.
Well, not a
I
one-off,
believe-
but just she's not aligning herself with Jade. She just came in and beat the shit out of Thunder Rosa, which that's
I think
cool
that
because that'll keep Thunder Rosa on TV, keep her in a program with somebody. See, they're fucking doing it right, man.
Yeah.
Their shit all just makes sense. Like, everything's just a puzzle. It all just fits together. You know what I mean?
They have wrestling minds running that show, that's why.
Very true. Very true. But yeah, I think that's a huge bolster. That's going to bolster the women's division. And, I mean, before we get into the AEW news, we could say that with that debut, there also may be a new woman headed to AEW in the very near future.
Dude, fucking Toni Storm walking
Toni
out
Storm,
on her
dude.
contract. She's just like, I'm done here. I'm done here. There's been some, which we don't know if it's real or not real, quote
I
or
know,
not
right?
a quote, all the shit that AJ showed us, basically her being like, hey, I've missed too much of my own personal life just to put over some bitch, basically.
Yeah.
I still don't know
in the ring
validity of
and
that.
out of the ring.
Yeah, in and out of the ring, backstage. And whatever.
Backstage and all that. And if that shit's real, because that was in quotations, I have no idea what that quote came from.
Me either, and I don't have any validity for that quote. I just thought it was interesting to read.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting any,
Yeah, we have no idea if it's real or not.
MACKDOwn Podcast is not accepting any reality of the quote or its validity.
We are not taking any responsibility, yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, dude, so with her leaving, if she shows up in AEW, like, wow, we got a women's roster that's starting to kind of, the flame is starting to kick up a little bit higher for them.
Because, yeah, that's crazy to me that she's in such a high echelon spot, essentially, facing off with the fucking, dude, I know.
If that shit's real, if that quote was real, then, I mean.
Well, if they keep going like they're going right now with the women's division, how many women's been added already? I think it's going to get a lot better.
Oh, AEW.
Well, Kimmy was also telling us that.
And just matches.
Yeah, the match quality is going to get way better, and I think the name value is going to start kind of matching the work in the ring, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then that gives Jade people to feed off of, too, that can actually help her grow and not just have green versus green, that only creates green.
Yeah.
Well, and not in money sense.
And weren't you saying, Kimmy, that the current SmackDown roster of female talent is 9?
Dude, it's like, there's no...
9. Can you name them?
Ooh, 10 points for whoever do.
Sasha Banks.
Sasha.
1.
Charlotte, right?
Yeah, Charlotte.
Charlotte, yeah.
Bianca Belair. No, she's on Raw.
No, she's on Raw.
Naomi.
Okay, Naomi.
Also,
Shayna Baszler.
Shayna.
What about that one girl with the green hair? I can't remember her name.
Oh, Shotzi.
Shotzi.
Yep, Shotzi. That's 5.
Vega? She's on
Raw.
She's on Raw.
Yeah, she's on Raw. Rhea's also on Raw. Fuck, man. Isn't that crazy? I can only name 5 off the top of my head, but that should tell you something right there. That we don't even know who the fuck they got. Is Tamina on there? No, she's on Raw, right?
Wow. Dude, it's Aaliyah.
Aaliyah. Oh, my God. Okay,
Bailey's
so that's 6.
still listed.
Okay, Bailey.
Naomi.
But she's not listed.
She's on
Natalia. Sasha. Shayna Baszler.
We got Shayna.
Shotzi.
We're missing one more.
Oh, what's her name?
Because I know Bailey and Asuka aren't listed yet because they're hurt. Well, she's still listed. You said
Zelina,
on there, right?
yeah. Rhea, it says, but that's.
Well, they're.
Oh wait, that's Raw. Hold on.
Yeah.
It took me to a list.
But isn't that crazy though? Like, how the fuck? So 9 active women on your fucking SmackDown roster. Xia Li.
And then it does have Sonya Deville on here as well. By the way, AJ, just so you know, it does have Sonya Deville on their roster of women wrestlers. Sonya Deville is on their roster, just so you know.
So she could be pickable, maybe? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm just talking shit.
Okay.
No, you're right. She's pickable.
So yeah, that's their. And dude, yeah, most of these people are like
all
Bailey's
green,
not
like,
even in there right now.
Who gives a shit about that roster? Like, if I'm Charlotte and Sasha, I would be furious. I'm like, this is what we got to work with? Like, it's the same old hat. It's Charlotte and Sasha. And then maybe throw Shotzi in there, but...
And Shotzi's not getting a fair shake at it either, and she's really good, too.
9 people for one fucking... Yeah, it just... Please combine the women's divisions, man. Can we just combine all the divisions?
They almost need to, because they have like no women wrestlers left in order to keep like a show even going. That's probably why Toni Storm was like, I'm fucking out of here,
I'm out of here. Yeah.
Well, because if you think about it too, yeah, like she's probably like, okay, as a professional wrestler, obviously the goal is to be on TV every fucking week, right?
Yep.
But her point was probably like, hey, if there's any validity to that statement that we read, like, hey, I really want to go do X, Y, or Z with my family. And they're like, no.
Yeah,
but then they're going to have all these other bitches sitting in the background. And then people like Nia Jax are just taking months off for their own mental health. And she's like, I can't get a fucking weekend. I can't get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like hard to have all the responsibility on your shoulders almost solely, really, if you think about it.
Put someone else over, too.
Right. And she's getting pies in the face and all this bullshit. She's like, I'm a wrestler. I'm not a fucking joke. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. If she wants to be a pro wrestler, she's in the wrong place. You can't
exactly.
be wanting to be a pro wrestler and be in WWE. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So my opinion, Toni Storm, you get the AJ. Well, word of the week. Because on
That's a
some
new
real
thing.
shit,
I like it.
if you wanted to do all that stuff, you knew that was part of the damn game. Look at Kevin Owens. This man has a wife and kid at home. He still is making a sacrifice for the better good of what he wants to do for his family because he wants to be in the WWE.
He knows the
if you don't
role.
want to be in the WWE,
He
get
knows
the fuck
the role.
out.
But you don't. But that's just
And that's
again
what
all
she did.
speculation. We don't know anything
Right.
about what really actually happened.
What does Pat
Exactly.
McAfee
Maybe
saying?
she
We
was
don't know
burnt
shit
out.
about
You know,
fuck.
maybe she, oh, God.
That's funny.
But maybe she was burnt out. You know what I mean? Maybe it was too much for her.
Well, I
That
mean,
happens.
And you know what, dude? I really look at that and I'm like, man, you know what? I don't know if I would have ever really survived as a pro wrestler for real because I wouldn't want to travel and be gone for that fucking long. Like my job
I would've been
now, I'm
fine.
like, I travel way too much.
Now,
Right.
alternate reality, alternate storyline here.
Yeah.
Tony Storm's leaving on purpose because, as me and Mike and we were all kind of talking about yesterday, what if Charlotte's like, "Hey, girl, you're too good to be here. I'm about to bounce.
Yeah, dude.
You need to put out some fucking comment how I'm a
Yeah.
bitch, blah blah blah.
Make
show
some-
up
make
in
some real life
AEW,
heat.
and then all of a sudden, Charlotte shows up in AEW, and now they're like, "Oh, bitch," and now they're fighting. You know what I mean? So
Right,
that
because
might
Tony
be.
Storm will be the champion of that company if she goes there. I'm just saying, like, Tony's that
reality
good.
era shit?
She's one of the best in the world, dude, in the ring. You know what I mean? So,
When we were watching that Jericho Stone Cold, Broken Skull sessions
Yeah.
last night, and he was even talking about how the combination of reality. You got to blur the lines between reality
You have
and
to.
wrestling in order to make the storylines believable.
you have to.
And he was also saying, like, yeah, real life animosity makes it better. And I was like, well, there's the answer to our question that we were talking about previous is like, hey, does real life animosity make the storyline better? Yes, I think the
Oh,
answer
hell
would be.
yeah. Look
So-
at that. If you
If
have
they're,
a
if they're
real-life
trying to plant
storyline like that.
seeds,
That would be fucking like, that is the epitome of pro wrestler right there.
Yeah.
If they were to play off some heat in a company like previously,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden this happens. Let's say Tony goes there, she establishes herself, becomes the champ. Next thing you know, it's been a year.
Yes.
Charlotte's contracts come up,
Yep.
and boom. Next thing you know, Charlotte shows up. And she's like, "Do you remember who I am? Do you
Well,
know
and then
who I
that
am?"
gives how we were kind of talking about, like, oh, if you come in new to the company, AJ do wins and losses matter, blah blah blah.
Yep.
But if you're a Charlotte fucking Flair, if you're an Ashley Flair,
Yep.
Queen of Wrestling from Charlotte, North Carolina,
The Queen City.
you can just come in and be like, oh, Tony Storm, you're the fucking champ. Yeah, I'm coming for you, bitch.
yeah. Last
Remember
time
all that
I seen
shit?
you, I threw pie in your face,
Exactly. So
dude.
anyway,
so she just like how Daniel Bryan and CM Punk and the rest of these guys can walk in
right.
and have that. And I'm not saying that as a shot.
No,
I'm saying that as a real thing.
Right.
These motherfuckers got that street cred.
they do.
They got the street cred.
And they're pro wrestlers,
say-
dude. They got the pro wrestling mind where they can go in there and actually play a story and feed off of real life. And it's like it's
That
like the
Hogan-
Smack Talkers
it's
thing.
that
Hey,
Hogan,
first
baby.
rule is you
You can
can't
always-
get butthurt type
Yep.
of thing. Like we're in
It's
this
that
for
Hogan.
money.
It's that Hogan, baby. You can always come in and get a title shot whenever you want.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
That's Hogan,
regardless
baby.
of why Tony Storm left, I'm a huge fan. I really
Same.
wish that she wouldn't have, but I mean, you do you, boo.
Yeah, dude.
Whatever's good for your mental health and your life, that's, fine. I hope to see you on AEW someday.
Yeah, dude. All the
Well.
talent that they're absorbing right now. People want to talk so much shit about them absorbing all this quote unquote WWE talent. It's like, guys, these people are not WWE quote unquote wrestlers.
They're wrestlers.
They're
They were in the
wrestlers.
indies. They did the bat. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
dude. I mean, it's just one of those things. They got to get out of that mentality. It's like, hey, do you want
that's-
your roster to be really good? Do you want to have like really good pro wrestling on your show? Okay, well then you absorb this talent.
Well, and even Jericho in
Cut
that
the
thing
fat.
last night was talking even to Stone Cold, like, hey, it's not AEW versus WWE. It's about, hey, like, I want pro wrestling to be alive under any fucking name
Yeah,
100
exactly.
years from now. Like, I want to, you know what I mean? Like, I just love the business and I want to keep it going in the way that I love it. Basically,
Right.
that's all he was trying to say. Like, hey, the more pro wrestling companies we have, the better it is for business, essentially. So,
Yeah, and and people. Vince has his vision, and that's great, and it's Walt Disney and all that great shit, and that's
Yeah,
great.
great.
But it's just the older you get, it's like you see why the adults when we were younger were like, "How the fuck you watch that shit?"
Yeah.
It's like I get it, I totally get it.
So, dude, you know what the WWE should do? Here's a plan. WWE should stop doing wrestling, like on-camera wrestling, right? And just go strictly into what Disney does. You know how Disney does Marvel and makes all these movies? Do that for your wrestling characters. Make the Ultimate Warrior movie, make the Hulk Hogan movie, make the Undertaker movie, make the Yokozuna movie, make the Rock movie, make the Stone Cold movie.
Dude,
Dude, if you really think about it, that's the shit that's keeping the network alive. Is like all the
Yes.
interviews, all like the day of,
Yeah.
the 24s.
Dude, when they did like the dinner for 3 or whatever, like
Yeah.
those were fucking sweet.
Those are
like,
great.
I
Just
love
do nothing
that.
but straight docs. Do nothing but straight docs, reenactments. Go buy Dark Side of the Ring. Go do all
Dude, the
that
Dark
shit.
Side of the
And-
Ring is probably some of the most entertaining shit they've had out in a long time.
Right.
Not
Dude,
the
WWE,
Dark Side of the
but just
Ring,
for
right.
wrestling.
Yeah.
Right, do all that shit. Do all that reenactment shit. Go do the Hollywood production of that shit. Make millions in the movie industry and entertainment industry because that's what it is, sports entertainment. So go and do that. And then branch off. Go do Michael Jordan's movie. Go do, you know what I mean? Go do a movie about, a fictitious wrestling company. Go buy heels. Go reproduce that. Go do that. If that's what your genre is, because when we watch wrestling on television as a wrestling fan, I'm sorry, I'm more of a fan of, yes, I'm a fan of the storyline, because the storyline is what the drama is, what brings it all together. But the storyline, the drama, like you said, it has to be a flow of wrestling. If you're gonna put two people together in a match, and there is no storyline behind it, then it better be a damn good match. You know what I mean? I better be seeing the value of seeing in something that's entertaining me.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Here's the
see
thing,
Apollo
man.
Crews versus AJ Styles.
Here's the
There-
thing.
I don't want to see that.
The story is what gets you in the door, right? The story between the two people, the animosity, whatever you want to
At
call
least
it,
cold, I should say.
however it is, but the story should be what gets you invested into the match. The match is the blow off. The match is the icing on the cake. If you have a really good match, it just makes that much better for the story. But if the story's really fucking good, you want to see the match in the ring because, of course, you want to see someone get beat up or whatever. But you know what I mean? Like this, when they say that nobody gives a shit about the match, yes, they do. But it's initially they don't.
Well, and I'm with AJ. Like, you better have a damn good fucking match to make me interested in your wrestling abilities, at least.
Right.
If
If
you're
you
just
don't
doing a
have a
cold
story.
match,
Right.
right? The cold
Totally,
ones,
yeah.
yeah.
Because
I
even when
agree.
we go to
Like-
those little, those little local shows, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? We don't know this. We don't know any shit about shit. We're
just
just
there to
there
watch
for
wrestling.
right. Like, I don't know their storylines. I'm not there every week. You know.
But you got two people who put on a great match. You're like, oh, who are these guys?
Yeah, dude,
And that's like
exactly.
Eddie
We
and
did
Ray.
that.
Look at Eddie and Ray. Eddie and Ray, when they first fought that first match, there was really no big storyline between them two. You know what I mean? You just knew Eddie and Ray. After that match, Eddie and Ray were tied to each other for the rest of Eddie's natural born life, and still to this day to Ray.
Yep.
But
Look
you
at
know what
Dominic.
made
Dominic
him
goes
good
to the-
though too?
Say it again.
You know what made Eddie so good too? Because
Every-
I've heard the stories from different wrestlers. He read the crowd. He pandered
yeah.
to the crowd.
Yep, 100%.
Well,
And that's what the greats do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So
Stone
But getting
Cold,
back
all
on-
these guys.
Yeah, let's get back on track. Let's not get.
Getting
Yeah,
back
we got
on
a shit
track.
ton of wrestling we got to get into.
All right.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about the women's tag team match because there was no SmackDown this week.
Yeah, there was no SmackDown. They did just the best of
women's
show.
tag team match.
From Rampage.
Let's get into it.
Dude, so how do you guys feel about like the blood and everything? I mean, I know it would be the pot calling the kettle black if it's like, oh man, it's too much. It was a little too much. But I felt like they put it in the right spots. They made it all make sense because like the one girl got hit and got blasted with the brass knuckles, right?
Yeah.
So that's why she was bleeding. And then the other girl, Tay Conti, I don't remember why she started bleeding, but was it the backflip off the fucking top rope onto the table that didn't break?
That spot, by the way, dude, Ty Conte's face. She
got
just like laid
blasted.
on her face, basically,
Oh,
like
man.
her knee to the face, essentially. I was like, ah.
That was a brutal
But it-
match.
Yeah, dude.
Some of that shit could have been avoided though.
Yeah, and like I said, I know exactly how she felt. That's what put Mr. AJ Superman out of business. But holy shit, them
Dude.
ladies.
They stole the show,
Def-
man. They might have stole the whole
definitely.
week, dude, to be honest with you.
Hey, and like I said, that match definitely featured in a main event spot, doing all the stuff that they did, trusting these women, showing that AEW does give diversity in their matches, especially in their main event spots, in a way that pretty much stole the week up until day one of the new year. probably one of the top 10 matches of 2021.
It was really damn good, dude.
They see
But
that's the
actually,
kind of shit that
it was
gives.
2020. Oh yeah, it was 2021 because it was still on a Friday.
Yeah, it was the eve.
Yep, you're right.
New Year's Eve.
Dude, it was.
Thank you.
It started out good, and then it just kept getting more and more and more brutal.
Yeah.
Like as the
Progressive.
yeah, I think that's why I liked it because they were like, it's not like they were just pulling out all the tricks like all right away. It was just like little by little they just kept like beating the shit out of each other and like, all right, now I'm grabbing this, now I'm grabbing that, dude. And then
Yeah.
the thumbtacks, of course, come out as well.
The superplex.
And don't get me
bro.
wrong, there was so many
Penelope got it
botches.
the worst. I
They
think.
did have botches in
With
that match. I
those.
mean, obviously they're
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to do so much shit. And like you said, the moonsault. The moonsault was like definitely the death of that group.
Well, here's the
man.
thing though, it's not like she didn't fuck it up totally. Like she just did kind of land,
She over rotated.
but
she was too close.
yeah, dude. But it made you remember it though. Because you're like, ouch,
Definitely.
ouchie,
Yeah.
that fucking hurt. Well, and then kudos to them because they did go back to that table spot and get it fucking later,
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
and they did a really good job at that.
Speaking
Too,
of the,
so.
like Mr. B was saying, the thumbtacks, a superplex off the top rope onto thumbtacks.
Dude, can we talk about too how she got her like brass knuckles out and went to go fucking punch that bitch and slipped and did a splits right into the fucking
yeah.
thumbtacks?
That was the worst.
dude.
I gotta
Dude,
say,
that shit was all
no,
stuck to
straight-
her little cheeks. Oh,
Dude, that was
straight thumbtacks.
because you know that wasn't planned either. She just went to go take a step and said, "Swoop." Oh,
and just yeah,
even
She
the
might
ref
have
was
to go
like,
see a gynecologist.
just booty planted right into those fucking things.
dude.
Yeah, I wonder what her gynecologist is gonna say next time. He's gonna be like,
more
what was
careful.
going on here?
You're into some freaky shit.
Like I'm not even gonna ask.
I'm gonna ask.
But yeah, dude, those girls beat the shit out of each other, and they did a good damn job doing it. And the
Yeah.
blood was a lot. She was bleeding like a motherfucker, but she's
Yeah,
blonde
she
as
was.
well, so it's almost like Cody too, where it just kind of sometimes looks more dramatic. She was dripping everywhere though. You're like,
She
bitch,
was
gonna
super,
tell.
like you said, she looked like Two-Face. Like she was
She
like
literally
legit
did, dude. It was
blood
all
in
like-
her eye and everything. Like
the blood
that
in
has
the
to be
eye.
hard to see, right?
Yeah.
Ugh.
But she was. I mean, you could tell she was doing just fine because she was selling the fuck out of it.
Yeah, they earned my respect, man.
Yeah.
They put on a hell of a match. I thought everything made sense, like
Mm-hmm.
psychology wise. They did a really good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kept me super invested. The whole match I was locked in.
You see, this is the consistency I like about AEW. Week after week after week, they're just giving us more good points for us to talk about. Cody winning
And
the
it's
title
consistent, dude.
I mean, listen to this. Cody winning the title from Sammy, big moment.
Yep.
Cody lighting himself on fire, big moment.
Yep.
The hardcore match between Thunder Rosa and DMD,
Oh,
Yep.
big moment.
Huge.
This hardcore match that just happened,
Awesome.
big moment. You know what I mean? Daniel Bryan and Kenny Omega, big moment.
Daniel
You know what I mean?
Brian Danielson,
Bryan
Brian Danielson and Hangman
Bryan
going an
Danielson and
hour.
Hangman, right? Big moment.
which they had to follow up that women's match, by the way, which was
Hey.
like hard to do, bro.
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, like that women's match was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like,
Speaking of hard to follow up, MJF CM Punk, big moment. Nothing but back to back to back to back big moments. WWE, what did you give us? Oh, wait a minute. WWE did give us a moment to start the year off, and it was a big moment.
I mean, you just want to get
Just-
into it.
You want to say it?
I didn't have anything else for
Yeah,
Rampage. That was
okay.
it for the week for me.
Yeah, that is. But the year started off with one of the biggest moments of them all.
And new WWE World Heavyweight. Man, dude, hey, I'm not gonna lie. Well, so because they always say if a big time
Brock
match
Lesnar,
like
right?
that goes out, you always need to replace it with something equal or better than. And them adding Brock to the Raw title match
Yeah.
absolutely made no sense.
Yep.
However, it created a buzz.
it did.
You know what I mean? Like, it kind of gets you interested in the show. You knew at the end of the show, it's like, well, fuck, man, they're not gonna put Brock in this match if they're not gonna
Let him win.
give it to him. You know what I mean?
No, I truly thought Seth was gonna find a way.
No way, dude. As soon as I seen Brock was put in that match, I was like, oh, for sure, Brock's winning this match.
Big E did
Well-
give him a pretty good shot and fucking,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that clothesline.
that
Oh, to the
clothesline,
throat.
dude. He fucking knocked his ass out of the
John
ring.
Cena eat your heart out, and then the second one, he just took him right over. But you know what? That's one thing I got to say about Big E that I'm going to give him props for. He is one of those guys who's like, if I want to fight, I wanted something intense. When he fought Bobby Lashley for the title and smacked the dog mess out of him before that match, you're like, dude, he's going to murder you. You know what I mean? he hit Brock Lesnar just like, what? I'm here, bro. Let's go.
Well, yeah,
Now, of
yeah.
course, Brock
Biggie.
Lesnar
What does
murder.
Biggie say? His saying, the trademark thing.
Big meat slapping?
big meaty men slapping meat.
He was slapping meat.
He damn sure was.
So big meaty men.
Everybody got their shit in on that match.
Yeah, it was a good match overall, though. I was shocked when he actually pinned him 1, 2, 3. I was like, oh shit, wow, they gave it to him. I wasn't, it's like, yeah, it's Brock Lesnar, but I wasn't sure. I was kind of like AJ, where like, oh, maybe someone else will find a way to,
I didn't think so.
when someone else is knocked out of the ring, or, you know what I mean? When there's that many people, there's a lot of shit that can happen, so.
Hey, I'm just hoping that this is the precursor to the title unifications.
Yes,
like, we're already getting a taste of it in NXT. They're ready to do that. Let's continue the trend up in the WWE, and let's start unifying some of these titles.
I don't know if they're going to do that, but I think this is a precursor.
They need to.
To finally giving Brock
You
Lesnar
can't tell me
Bobby
that Raw and
Lashley that
SmackDown
match.
wasn't better when there was only one roster and we were getting everybody on both shows. You can't tell me that the shows were not better for it and people didn't thrive better for it. The fucking talent, it's fresh, man. All the talent is back in the pool again. You know what I mean? Like, you got your Roman and your Seth Rollins sitting right fucking there, ready for the pickings. You know what I mean? Like, it's there. Let's do it. Come on, let's quit fucking around.
Well, shit, now they brought Brock over to the other brand. I mean, maybe that's their...
Well, Brock's a free agent. Brock can go anywhere he wants.
Brock
He said
did
that
say he'll
from
do
the
whatever he wants when he
beginning.
wants.
Well, no longer.
What, no longer? No, he probably will
Well, no.
show up on SmackDown
That's
with
what
the
I'm
WWE
saying.
title.
Just
Just
damn sure is going to.
go fucking...
Well, I mean, if it stays separate, he's technically now a
Brock is the-
WWE roster.
He's
are they
motherfucker
gonna
to have.
do Roman
Raw
versus
roster, I mean.
Brock?
That's
and-
got to be
and
a Mania.
unify the title?
It's got to be a Mania to unify the title.
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest match you can do right now, like, ever.
Yeah.
Right now. You know what I mean?
Like ever.
You can unify both titles, Brock versus Roman. Roman's never beat Brock at Mania. This would be like the fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if Roman goes over, he's the mega champion of the world.
There you go.
He's
And that establishes him as the GOAT.
Yeah, he definitely is now. He can go on the Mount Rushmore at this point, like on some sense of the word. Like, he's definitely a candidate for it now, greatest of all time.
Yeah, well, I think going back to the, day one though, I think Brock being the champ, it only elevates Raw. You know what I mean? It's going to elevate Raw to a bigger status because, let's be honest, Raw's been hard to watch, man. 3 hours of a bunch of bullshit. RK Bro's the best thing on that show.
Thank you.
But speaking of RK Bro, they
retained, baby.
They retained against the
those
Street
titles.
Profits, which I thought was a good match.
Definitely. Oh, and before we move on to that, real quick, a tough loss to you, Mr. B. I know you do have Big E on your roster. We'll get to it
The
soon.
big fuck you.
I couldn't see it. It was actually cut off. You put the middle finger up too high. There you go. Oh nope, still up too high. So, there you go. That represents day one. The first day you ever thought that you would ever come for the crown, baby. You missed, and your
shit.
team showed you that.
Quit
Speaking of
talking
your
so much
team,
shit.
Speaking of your
he's
team,
gonna,
we're
he's
gonna
gonna
talk
fall
about our
real
team.
hard. The fall is going to be real hard.
Dude, I know everybody has their day, baby, but right now it's mine. So
Hey, we're
it's
not
so
even
glorious.
we're not even getting there yet. You just hold your
Oh,
horses
shit.
there, buddy.
Yeah.
So
You don't get to
RK Bro.
celebrate twice.
Oh, I celebrate as much as I want.
He'll
baby
celebrate
boy.
every
I'm the
show. It seems
champion.
like so far.
I'm
Yeah.
the champion.
He's the champ
It's gonna
every
be a-
week. It's not gonna. He's gonna be the champ until the end of the first quarter, second quarter,
we'll see. With the
and
way
then the
my
belt's
shit's
coming to
going.
me.
Anyway,
But anyway.
Well, speaking of my
good.
team, RK Bro, yes, as you were saying, Kimmy, they did defeat the Street Profits. I'm definitely seeing a heel turn with Street Profits, guys. What do
I
you
hope
think?
so. I hope so, dude.
Yeah, they're
I would
ready.
Like it. Yeah, like I said, a heel Montez is a bad man.
Bad man.
Yep.
You're gonna agitate the shit
He
out the
needs to
crowd.
play up that like fancy shit that he does, like when him and Bianca are taking photos together. He's got the glasses on and he's all dressed in suits. Like maybe they should start doing that kind of shit. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Get
I'm
out of
down.
the athletic gear
I'm down. Yeah, give him a rehaul a little bit.
for sure.
It was a crazy RKO, by the way. Riddle with the pump, with the throw up. The assisted RKO with the catch.
Hey, well, speaking of an assisted something here, let's go ahead and continue with your team, AJ. The Usos.
Usos defeated.
They defeated the New Day and to retain their titles as well, and
Yeah.
that's also a big hurt for Mr. B because he's got King Woods, so that's
Ooh.
another minus there. But hey,
don't tie me ever
Hey,
again, Mr. B.
that
Don't tie
Hey,
me ever
hey,
again.
we're supposed to wait.
the one thing that Cam has put in for this week that he did say was is the Usos and the New Day
Yes.
the greatest tag team rivalry of all time?
Yes, it definitely is. I mean,
Well,
How is it
there's-
not, right?
They're the two
These guys did hell in a
biggest
cell.
tag teams going right now.
Like almost of the last decade.
Really, of the last decade. That
you know
is
what
true.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like we can talk about the Young Bucks and all them too, and FTR and all them, but really,
not
but
really.
we're talking about rivalry.
but
though.
if we're talking about
Rivalry, though?
rivalries,
Yeah.
Well, even if you think about back in the day, because like we were looking at last night, like Edge, or the Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian, like
Yeah.
that was a great. That was
Right.
that put tag team wrestling back on the map, like in the Attitude Era,
Yeah.
and then the Dudleys got involved after that. But I think that I think the Usos.
I think in the last decade for sure. I mean, and of all time.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
who do
Yeah,
you
I've gotta
who
say
can
all
you
the
think
time.
of off the top of your head? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think of individual tag teams, but not like rivalries necessarily.
Right.
Right,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
The Outsiders and the Harlem Heat. Like it was a great program, but it was only like just a program. You know
Couple
what I mean?
times, yeah.
But it wasn't
We're
like a
talking about
rivalry.
longevity rivalry.
yeah.
They've gone to pay-per-views.
Like we said, the
they-
Rock and Roll
they-
Express and the Midnight Express. You know what I mean? Like those back
Yeah,
in
if
the
you
day.
think
I mean, I think the
Old
answer to that
day.
question then would be yes. I mean, put your comments,
Yeah.
down below.
Yeah, let us know.
what
Yeah.
you think.
Please, definitely, because if you want to prove AJ the champ wrong, this is the best time to do it.
Well, moving
Moving
on.
on.
from
Speaking
that-
of Edge, by the way.
Oh, hang on before you say Edge.
Oh.
I just wanted to say the Usos did debut a new finisher. It is called
Yes,
the 1D.
the 1D.
It is
Oh.
basically the variation of the 3D. It's
Yes,
just
it
the
is.
same thing, but they just call it the 1D. So, hey, I'm cool with that though,
Why
dude,
not the
'cause
2D?
I love that finish, but their double splash is also great too, but it's the 1D because of, day 1.
Oh, okay.
They won.
They should just call it the
day one-ish.
D1. That's what they should call it,
They
the
should call
D1.
it the day one-ish.
Yeah. But anyway, yes, moving on. But they did the New Day's finish, which, I'm cool with that.
Yes, indeed.
Keeping their name alive.
Indeed.
But yes, on to Mr.
Dudley's
Meddling us
finish,
himself.
You meant to say the Dudleys finished keeping their name alive, but anyway, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said.
I
So.
believe you. I've been doing that a lot lately.
He said the New Days. He
Oh.
said the New Days
God damn it.
finish.
So
we
easy
didn't
to
even
get
catch him.
mixed
Thank
up.
you, AJ. He's always on
Yes.
point when he wants to be.
Slipping.
Always, sometimes.
That's
But
the
yes.
champion.
Mr. Alter Bridge, his friend.
Edge.
On this day.
Edge defeated The Miz by pinfall because why?
Beth Phoenix came.
Yes, Beth
Didn't we
Phoenix.
call this?
Yes.
Didn't we call this?
We absolutely
We all
called
Yes.
this.
said,
Okay.
well, I mean, she left NXT.
Right.
Yep.
That was like, the first seed.
Yep. Hey, she
Mr.
looked
B
like
heard the rumor over there.
Yeah.
she looked badass too. She
She
came
did.
out. She
Did.
came out looking like a destroyer.
Like
Yeah.
a phoenix
Yeah, she did.
rising
Phoenix,
from the flame.
yes.
Kind of
Yeah.
Viking-ish. A little, with
Yeah, a
the
little bit, huh?
braids and shit too.
Well, hey, I mean,
The
with
hair.
some old Smash Face or whatever his name is, and isn't that his name in the Vikings?
Yeah, Edge.
Smash face?
Smash Face.
Shut up.
I swear to God.
Well, we never got that far into the series.
I know. I need to get. It's like
need to
Smash
just keep
Nose.
watching
Or,
that.
Yeah, we
Flat
where was
face,
it?
or I
Three,
can't
I
remember.
think we were on season 3 or 4.
Yeah, I
or
think
something.
wherever he did the the
I-
fucking wing eagle back thing where he rips his rib cage out or whatever the fuck.
Damn.
I think we
that's-
should just start all the way over.
I know.
No,
right?
all the way.
guys
Hell no.
watching?
The Vikings.
Oh, on History Channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been good.
We
man.
should go back and let's continue to watch it
Yeah.
because I remember all the shit all the way up and through him going to France and getting married to that bitch and whatever.
Yeah, the
brother.
The brother.
the wing thing is the last thing I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that was disgusting.
But yes, back to Beth Phoenix. She came back, so it looks like they're going to go ahead and continue that role with the Miz and Maurice versus Beth and Edge, which is kind of what we were all hoping for.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. All right, cool. I'm glad that they did that.
Yeah, me too. It
It
was
only
nice.
makes
I'm glad
sense.
they're gonna do.
I hope it ain't a
That's gonna be a
one-off.
Mania thing for sure. I believe they're. Do you think they're gonna, or do you think they're gonna
It's
go
a
ahead and do
long
it at
ways from
Rumble?
Mania. I think they'll probably definitely do it at Rumble for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Do you
if
think
not
they'll
at
do
Rumble, then they'll
individual
do
matches between? Do you think Maurice will ever have a match? Because she's like a wrestler, but not really. She's more like she's not a wrestler. Let's be fair.
I think if she does get in the ring, it'll be for the tag team match. Because I think I could see them where it's like, okay, the Miz and Edge are going to have another match, but Beth is going to be in Edge's corner, so to make sure there's no fuckery, and then there's still going to be fuckery, and then they're going to be like, somebody's going to get hurt or some shit, and then they'll be gone for a little bit, come back around Mania time, and do that whole bit.
Yeah, because Maurice did more of the Divas wrestling, so I don't know if she's...
True.
I mean, Beth Phoenix is wrestling Edge, so...
Yes,
anyway.
that is true.
Anywho, but I'm glad they did that.
But yes, I did like that too. Story progression. Good job, WWE.
Yes, good job. Kudos to you.
After that, we had no singles titles on the show. No singles
Once
titles
again,
matches.
proving my point of just horrible treatment.
It's
of
terrible,
both the
dude.
Intercontinental
It's ridiculous.
and because Sami Zayn could have filled in.
How do you not?
totally,
like you
dude.
don't. Well, even Jericho said Vince McMahon told him that nobody gives a shit about the Intercontinental title, because Jericho was like, I want to be the Intercontinental Champion, like I want to get the most ever, and Vince looked at him and was like, nobody gives a shit about the Intercontinental title, and it's like, dude, you're out of touch, bro. Like he's
Vince
been out of
doesn't
touch
give
since
a shit
then.
about the
Since then,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Again, okay, so Vince doesn't like factions. Vince doesn't like tag teams. Vince doesn't like small
Right.
guys. Vince doesn't give a fuck about the Intercontinental title.
There's no prestige, man.
He's a
But
dick.
that's just, it just goes to show you that like that's the way he thinks. And same thing with tag team wrestling. He doesn't care. He just doesn't care. You know. But it is a travesty. You don't have on the first show of the year. You don't have either one of your singles titles on the show. It just kind of blows my mind. They did have
they're
the
irrelevant to
Raw
him,
Women's. They have the Raw Women's title.
Yep, Becky Lynch. She did defeat Liv Morgan.
Hey, great match. I thought they actually did a really good job.
I thought so too.
They had a really good match.
Until they fucked up the ending. Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna let
Becky
that.
was supposed to cheat to win. She was supposed to do it again.
Well, she didn't have to, and it was decisive. She was
didn't
looking.
have to win.
She was looking for the cheat, though. She was looking
Yeah,
for the cheat.
And that was the way she was supposed to win. I'm telling you, she botched that ending.
No, I don't think so.
I definitely do.
I think this is exactly what Cam was telling me. He's like, "Do you think they're gonna go ahead and go with Liv, or do you think they're gonna let her fucking flame out
Yeah.
like they do everybody else?" And of course, they're gonna let her flame out because again, WWE they like the 50-50 bullshit, and it's never gonna get
No,
over. Nobody's ever
Becky's
gonna get
money.
over that way.
Yeah, exactly. Of course they're going to keep it on Becky.
Yeah, Becky's money, bro.
Becky's money.
Big time Bex.
She is, dude, and she proved it again last
Yeah.
night. I mean, to be honest with you, she really did. She held the match.
She carried that.
She
shit,
carried
bro.
the whole match. I mean, and
Liv
I'm
was
giving Liv credit
starstruck.
too. Liv was in a great position.
No, Liv
They're-
was starstruck.
Well, I mean, yeah, a little bit, but I mean, hey, you're gonna be that way, your first couple times, unless you just meant to be there, like Charlotte or somebody. You know what I mean? But then again, you don't get in that business to just be in the business. That's kind of like where you see yourself being is in the world title scene. In the world title match, on a pay-per-view.
Well,
like that's the shit that you strive for. So you should be the most pumped up, for that role.
And then you have the realization Ricochet had when he won that match and had to realize that he had a title match at a pay-per-view against Brock Lesnar.
That let's not talk about that.
Oh, hey, really
WWE's
quickly.
dumbass.
I don't want to roll right back into the Liv Morgan
No,
thing.
go for it.
So I'm reading Bleacher Report recap of the
Shout out
Liv
to
Morgan. And it says, unfortunately, the way that the second title opportunity went down, a botch at the last second was reframed, has reframed the story. It says, after an awkward catch and slam, the man went for a pin and was successful, but she was clearly meant to put her foot on the ropes to give her leverage and was just shy of reaching it.
Yeah, her foot kicked it. She said, "Oh, fuck it." Like you see it in her face. She was like, but the way it was supposed to be, she was supposed to hit the move right by the ropes, and then put her feet on the ropes to help with the pin. But her little short ass, fucking.
Well, and again, whose fault is that? I mean, honestly,
it's
takes two to
Becky's.
tango. It
It's
takes two to
Becky's fault.
tango.
Honestly, that's Becky's fault. 100% Becky's fault.
Well, she
because
slammed
Liv is
her,
on her
though.
back. Liv is on her back, looking up. She can't be like, "Oh, your feet are not on the ropes." And then Becky should have felt her feet weren't on the ropes and said, "Hey, kick out."
Oh, yeah, exactly. And go another one, do it over again, basically.
Let's do it. Let's do something different real quick, but have the same result.
Right.
Like I'll pick you up, put you on the ropes. I'll go for a move.
This
and
again.
you move,
This is with
don't try one
WWE
more time.
not giving a fuck about because, dude, they used to be they used to be so fucking
detailed
Yeah.
on the
Oh, you fucked it up,
littlest
do it again.
fucking things, and Vince would make you do it again back in the day. Remember, he would send motherfuckers back out there for TV matches to redo it, like literally the whole thing over. And
Well, and these guys pull in the ring too. Look at Taker and
they've
Rick.
just gotten so complacent, dude, and so lazy that they're just like, we're untouchable, and this is just the way we can do it, and we can be not perfect, and who gives a fuck? And that's their mentality, dude, and it's gonna bite them in the ass. I'm telling you.
I'm not gonna lie. Becky winning clean just killed Liv Morgan.
It didn't kill her. I mean, it didn't kill her because they
No,
put on
it
a great
killed her,
match.
bro,
They put on a really good match. You know, she got caught up. She was about to hit her finish. It got fucking twisted. The better person won.
Yep.
You know,
and sometimes that just happens,
and
you know.
sometimes that just happens.
And sometimes
is.
you're rematch, and then you're a little more motivated, and then you're gonna kick ass. You know?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe this will propel Liv to win in the women's rumble.
Maybe Liv will be, you know.
Well, they got
Maybe
10
she'll
women.
cheat.
So.
Oh, just start kind of playing dirty too,
Uh-huh.
doing the same shit.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, they only got like 10 women for the Royal Rumble this year, so I mean,
That might be a real thing, dude.
Dude, literally, I don't even think they have 30 girls.
I don't think they do.
I really don't. They're gonna have to pull NXT chicks and put them up there too.
Yep, a bunch of them.
Yeah,
a bunch of them, half of them.
dude, at least.
That or they may not have a women's Royal Rumble.
No, they have to. Is
Yeah, they're
contract.
definitely going to have a women's Royal Rumble now for sure. Yeah, they'll just pull in like legends, and you know they'll do shit like that. They'll bring back like Bull Nakano or some fucking crazy shit.
Dude,
Well,
you're
we definitely
right.
know Maurice and Beth are in it.
Yeah, that'll be a thing.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Anyway,
Was there any other matches on this card?
it was Sheamus and
oh yeah,
The pre-show.
Pre-show.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Okay, so shout out.
So I missed that,
to
and it's nowhere on Peacock because apparently Peacock doesn't put the fucking pre-shows on their goddamn
another
shit.
reason why Peacock just
It's the worst,
they
dude.
suck dick, dude. They're fucking.
Oh,
They do.
Peacock gets the Kimmy You Suck
They
Dick
ain't just
Award
sucking
this
it.
week.
You know what I'm saying?
You suck dick. You suck
Fuck Peacock.
They suck, dude.
Ooh.
Not that that's a bad
Alright,
thing,
so-
but I don't know.
So
They
let me
eat
just
shit.
fill
How
you
about
in on
that?
what happened. Oh God. Okay. Let me fill you in on what happened in this match. So the match was Sheamus and Rich Holland
Mm-hmm.
versus Ricochet and Cesaro.
Yep.
About a couple of minutes into the match, Cesaro grabs the back of Ricochet's foot to do a double team flip somersault onto Rich Holland. As Ricochet does the front flip, instead of landing chest first, Ricochet lands feet first. One foot on his chest, the other foot on his face directly on his nose.
Oh,
Then as he's trying to move down, he comes down shin first on his nose.
oh.
And Ridge
Shit.
Holland was taken out for a broken nose.
Taken out, gushing.
So you
Talk
said
about
you said
gushing.
they stretchered him out. They like
Oh no, they didn't
stretchered him
stretcher
out.
him out. I'm sorry, they didn't stretcher him out. But
Oh, I was about
he
to say. I
helped-
was like,
he was helped out. But here's what I'm saying: another big role, big time moment for him. And what happens? Super injury. Now, broken nose obviously is not a crazy injury. I mean, look at John Cena. Seth Rollins rearranged his face.
I mean, look at Sheamus, his partner, who just came back from a broken nose.
Oh,
Oh, here
my
we're gonna watch
God.
it. Hopefully.
well, here we go.
So Mike is showing Kimmy the footage now, ladies and gentlemen. And
Oh,
yep, there it is.
Dude, come on.
God,
He landed
literally hits him with his face and then his, like you said, like then his
foot,
his shin.
foot then shin. Yeah, straight landed feet first on him. So that probably broke it, and the shin probably crushed it at the waist of the way.
Ouch.
Ow,
Why?
dude. Oh, look at that.
That sucks.
So send me that picture because I haven't seen the picture. yet.
You
So
should
send
show
me
him
that
right.
picture.
Yeah.
Or if you can show it to the camera.
Oh well, let's see. Well, no, it's
Yeah.
too far away.
Okay.
Oh
Hang
yeah,
on,
true
I'll
story.
send it- I'll send it to you.
Yeah, that shit's
So
crazy.
it was a horrific incident. But
Okay.
with that being said, kudos to you, Sheamus, for being that hoss and pretty much finishing both of Ricochet and Cesaro yourself. First, the white noise on the floor to Ricochet was unbelievable. And then the bro kick out of nowhere was just insane. I definitely agree with you, Mike. The bro kick is definitely top 10 most deadliest finishers of all
Easily
time.
one of the top 10, dude. It might even be top 5. It might even be top 5.
That move is vicious. I mean, vicious.
Sheamus
You
is
think
a
the
monster
legs-
too. He needs to be more in the main role.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
Definitely. So kudos to him for beating both of them, winning it, and getting you some points there, guy.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, there, guy.
Appreciate it. Well, I think that was pretty much it for the show.
That was it for the week.
Yeah.
That was it for the week,
speaking
right?
Speaking of points.
Let's check out the
since we're
points.
done,
Let's do it.
let us move to the Fantasy Wrestling League, baby. We are
MACKDOWN
here.
Fantasy Wrestling.
We are live. We are going to talk about what's going on. Man, I'm in a good mood. And let's tell them why. Let's talk to you guys down in the studio. What's going on, Mr. VMD Mackie MacD?
Mackie MacD. Well, let's go ahead and start right here. AJ, taking a commanding lead this week. He kind of just set himself apart from everybody. So he got 29 points for the week. So you can thank RK Bro with a 17 points, and you can thank Usos with 6 and the Usos with 8 and Adam Cole with 6. Cameron Grimes to get you -2 though. And then in second place, it was me with 19. That's a respectable score. Drew McIntyre led my team, which so far that's what he's been doing. That's just the thing he's been doing. Cam in third place with 5 points, which is quite a dip down from second place here. Looks like Becky Lynch led his team. Britt Baker -4. She got -7 for the quarter so far. That's rough, dude.
That's rough.
She's like, where the fuck she been, dude? And then in fourth place, we got Kimmy with -6. Damn. So the point leader for her this week was Bryan Danielson with 2.
A whopping 2. And by the way, Bryan Danielson's the only one that got me points.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody else was 0 or
Roman
negative.
was out with COVID, so 0.
Yep, and then there was no SmackDown either. So we called that a bye week. We just said this was a bye week this week.
Yeah.
Because there was no SmackDown. It's like, well, we can't do a -2 because
Everyone's gone.
it's just like a recap show. So
Then I definitely would have beat my record.
Oh, I know, right?
oh, you might. I mean, you might have got more points because
well,
King
maybe.
Woods might have been on the show and got you like a win or something.
No, I'm saying if we got negative for.
Oh, if you got
SmackDown.
oh yeah, you would have had. Well, we'll just let's just go right into it. Then Mr. B with -7, tying his all-time low record.
It is the all-time, not his all-time low, the all-time
the
low.
all-time low record. But
Well,
yeah,
technically, it is
-7.
my all-time low right now.
It's
too.
both. It's both.
Yeah, you're
but-
tied. Yeah, it's tied to your all-time. But dude, yeah, it's
Remember, Mr. B, don't ever come for me, man. Don't ever come for me.
you got nobody got any positives for you this week. The only
None.
the only positive or
Fucking
I guess
holidays,
nothing you
too,
got was
it gotta
Malachi.
be.
He got 0. Everybody else was negative.
Malachi was just neutral.
He was neutral, yeah, so there wasn't even a plus or minus.
That's crazy.
Didn't
Dude. It
Miro
was a
get?
shit
Wasn't
week.
Miro on? But he's on my. I know he's on.
He's
my
on
bench.
your bench. I didn't even no,
But
I don't
no,
I don't
I think
count
he
him.
was on. wasn't
Yeah, he had a
though?
back.
I was gonna say maybe he had like a back like one of
I'm
those
just
like,
saying
I
the
hope
one
it
that
didn't.
would have got me points is on my bench.
yeah, and he would have just got you 1. Well, really, if you think about it, he would have got you -1 because he wasn't on Rampage. So technically, that would have gotten you -9 or -8. But yeah, so what a fucking shit week in wrestling this was, man. As far as fantasy goes,
no, it wasn't. What are you talking about? It was a great week in wrestling for me.
No, it wasn't. It was a terrible overall week for fantasy wrestling. The shows
Not for
were
me.
not good, dude. NXT's finish sucked, kind of killed the show. Raw was just garbage, the whole fucking show. There was no SmackDown. Dynamite was okay, you know what I mean? Dynamite had some moments.
Rampage was the highlight.
Rampage was the highlight, and then of course we
Day
had the
one
show.
was the highlight.
Well, I don't know, man. That women's street fight was
That was pretty damn good.
that was right
Yeah.
up there with. I mean, of course, the fatal 5-way is going to get. That's we'll save that, but yeah. So with that all being said, let's go ahead and go into the quarter totals here. So AJ leading, like I said, set himself apart. AJ with 124 points, so he's the first one
That's
to
how you do
100. Second place is, yours truly has shot up from last place to second place at 99. And then in third place, we got Cam with 93. Fourth place, we got Mr. B with 88. And wow, how the mighty have fallen. We got Kimmy in last place with 76 points.
Listen, I'm dropping my whole fucking team, and I'm gonna get that number one draft repick. You know what I mean?
You're gonna drop Roman? You're gonna get rid of
Look
Roman?
at him.
Yeah. He does only have 14 fights so
14
far.
fucking points.
That's crazy.
COVID.
Yeah, that is crazy when you look at it
Yeah,
like that.
fuck
huh?
Roman. I'm fucking done. You guys can have him, okay?
Oh,
I'm gonna pick a whole new motherfucker. All right, I'm gonna do some research. It's day one is a new day of the fantasy.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna fucking. I'm doing a whole fucking wish wash and getting rid of everyone, and I'm gonna start keeping track of some other people. I'm gonna start doing some research. I'm gonna get ready for that Royal Rumble fucking redraft, bitch.
I know. I'm looking really forward to this. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Because my team is absolute trash.
Here's the deal. Kimmy has officially done it. Now I am the only person on this cast and in this game that has not complained about my team. That has always been faithful. Has always been like, I'm sticking with my team. And you know why? Because I pick championship teams, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking at the fantasy wrestling god.
I'm really pissed about this -6. I'm not gonna lie. And then you get 20 fucking 9, dude. Like, oh my god,
John Cena, baby.
dude.
Like,
Roman
I'm just
being
gonna keep-
sick is fucking
I'll make
me.
myself down you guys' throats over and over until you acknowledge me. That's it.
And where the fuck is Sasha Banks? Like, God.
Right, we don't know, dude. And
That
that was
was a
kind of the
mistake.
risk.
That, you
That was the
know,
risk of taking her.
I
Was like,
know.
is she even gonna be around?
As soon
Like,
as I said her name, I was like, that was a mistake.
And Mercedes was like, "Oh, she picked me. That's it. I'm done. Mental health day."
Mercedes,
See, these
you
motherfuckers are
said a
listening to
real
our
name.
shit on the DL. You know.
Yeah. Well, and that's like you said. Like, I mean, that's kind of why I wanted to make a graph where I just kind of scored literally everybody on the roster that week. Because then we do have I mean, we're getting deep with this fantasy. I mean, if we did
Yeah.
that would be like, we're getting really deep into this.
That's keeping stats, man. You keep stats then.
That is true.
How about this? Everybody do it the best way they can and try to come for the champ. So far, I've had a rivalry with everybody in this cast.
Always talking
Cam and-
shit.
And then he wonders why we come for him.
I'm a heel, baby. Come on. Don't hate on the heel.
He's a heel.
He's a heel.
Jesus.
God damn. I want double cheese. But no, seriously, I've had a rivalry with everybody on here except for Mike. Mike has always been in last place. It's the first time he's coming for the champ.
Well,
And he's got a pretty good squad because his squad gets points. You know what I mean? Like Drew's always on TV. Fucking
Drew got me 40 points. He's one of the only ones that's got 40 points so far.
look at that. See Drew and then
Look,
who else you got
Drew.
over there?
So Drew is the number 2 scorer in the league right now. So we got RK Bro with 43, and then Drew's right behind them with 40. So
Look at that. Look at that.
and that's just
Couple
on one show.
Yeah, and that's just keep
RK
trying
Bro
to
is
keep
all
it like-
over the fucking place, and they still only
Yeah.
just got 43. Punk ass.
Well, that's because you wasn't counting the points the way I thought I would count the points. You know, we had
Well,
some
you're
point
trying to get
discrepancy.
match points for singles
For tag
tag team
teams.
wrestlers,
Yeah,
which doesn't
fuck
that
you.
don't work.
Appearance. I was trying to get
It's
appearance.
not extra appearance.
They're not extra appearance because they've been out there the whole time. So
I gave
what
you-
other appearances are they making?
Yeah, I gave you extra appearance for like the extra mic grab and the promo at the end,
See?
which I shouldn't even have done, but we did it.
Oh, you get. Oh, you. Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
gifted you those points.
Yeah,
You're
you,
welcome.
you still would have won by almost over 10 points.
He's like I'm one
That's
that
still the
never
case.
ever bitches about my team, but you're always bitching about the points. That's all I do
The
now.
points, yes. Yeah, because I want my points. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, Kimmy.
Okay.
See, Kimmy, here's the deal, and I'm gonna direct this directly to you, Kimmy, since I got you now. Okay, you came and you touched my belt. You touched my belt, my property, and you said, and I quote, "I'm holding it for you. I'm holding it for you." Well, you know what I did to you, Kimmy? Do it. No, excuse me. You know what? I'm not even gonna say I did. You know what your kid did for you, Kimmy? They put you on the back of the bus, the back of the line. Move it to the back, Jack, and don't you come back. No more, no more, no more, more, more. Kimmy, in the words of Jim Ross, na 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 na, na 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 na, hey hey hey. Goodbye.
You know what? We still got time, motherfucker, and I'm not gonna stop talking shit until it's not over till it's over. And I'll fuck you.
Yes. Yes.
Good competition though, sir.
Oh no, of course. Mr. B wasn't nothing. He tied me, and I'm like, you know what?
Shit.
Please.
Damn.
You got
Talk
like
about
one
talking
hair on my arm.
shit.
One hair on my
Motherfucker
arm.
over here.
One hair on my arm tinkled.
Tinkle.
And that hair was
You got hairs that
tinkled.
piss on yourself? What the fuck?
What?
I have
Hairs
one
that
hair
piss
on my arm that tinkled.
It's like it always just gets wet right in the spot.
All right. So,
All right, motherfucker.
But yeah, that was fantasy this week, man. It was a very uneventful week, except for, of course, Mr. AJ over here. But, like I said, Cameron Grimes is on his slump now, so he's gotten -2 past 2 weeks in a row.
yeah.
Adam Cole's going to stay where he's going. Guevara, we don't know what the fuck's going on there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, my team's about to implode, so the thing is coming up real good. But I think I'm
That's why I said it's not over till it's over.
That's right.
But
That's right.
I think I'm in a good pace to go in 2-time champ and keep the roof alive. I started looking at minis. You know what I mean? Just size.
Does it count as 2-time if he's just retains?
No, he just retained the
One
title.
time.
Yeah, you're just a one-time champ.
So it's a retainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, I mean, longest. Then I'm going for longest reigning.
There you
All
go.
right, there
You're
you
going to
go.
be like the Bruno San Martino of our shit.
Okay.
We're just going
I'm
to
down for
evolve really quick, and then, someone's going to be Backlund, and then someone's going to be fucking Hogan. Who's going to be Hogan?
Oh.
And then someone's going to be Stone Cold.
Oh, I'm Stone Cold. Can I get?
Kimmy's just going to come in just fucking breaking everything. She's just going to come in kicking,
I
punching.
mean, truly though, you should be
stunning.
Stone Cold because you're always breaking
I was
glass.
gonna say,
you know what I
I
mean?
do break that. Yeah, me and Glass are not friends.
Yeah, it's
I break
probably
too
you.
much glass.
Kimmy's with the long hair, so she's gonna be Roman.
Oh, I mean, okay.
Oh, the tribal chief.
I can. That's cool.
Try to establish your name on the Mount Rushmore.
Kimmy's like, that's cool.
I'll be the tribal chief. I'll sit at the head of the table, motherfucker. I'll take the chili necklace.
Oh yeah, the chili necklace.
I have been here. Acknowledge me. Well, Big Four. Let's do that.
Do you want to just do the big four real quick? Because I think that some of us are going to have the same. Because all
right, go for it.
My big four, obviously, I know Brock just came back and everything and won the WWE title, but I wanted to acknowledge, which I thought we did a good job of, was the women's street fight match on Rampage.
Yeah.
That was even to right now, like, that's the one thing that's still, up in my, that's like one of the first things that I think of for this week for wrestling.
Yeah, it was pretty damn good.
Yeah, and I think all four of them really established themselves as players in that division too, just because they're willing to fucking do whatever.
Dude, yeah.
Superplexes on thumbtacks, fucking table smashes.
I don't think anybody's. Yeah, the suplex on the chair, but that's superplex off the top to the thumbtacks. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that one.
Hey, you know what though, and I've never been a fan of Bunny at all, but now it's like, she does sell really well. And, her character is just kind of like, she's just kind of crazy. She's just a little crazy. So.
Yeah, they have a cool meme online going around about her. It's her and her husband, of course, is the Blade.
Yeah.
So they're standing there, and then it's her bloodied up, and it says, also, Bunny and the Blade. And it's her bleeding all over her face with a smile.
That's hilarious.
I'm like, okay, clever.
But that was my big four take of the week right there.
All right, cool.
Well, my piece of the big four, I should say. My 1/4.
Well, mine, I'll definitely just throw mine out there real quick. Mine is definitely Brock, since you even touched on it.
Yeah.
Brock, of course, right? No big. This like, I'm such a big Brock mark. I mean, it's just fucking awesome.
It's just it's just crazy. Like we said, if you're gonna not have the big match, you got to give them something equal to or better. And I think that you couldn't have got any better with the situation that they did. So
definitely, and
They
I
nailed it.
definitely agree to that. And I definitely think Brock Lesnar as WWE champion is best for business.
of course,
Sorry, Big E. I mean, you had a good run. Get your first one's the hardest. The first one's, in my opinion, is always the hardest to win your first one, because then it puts you in the WWE talk. Can't put yourself in the conversation of being a WWE champion until you win it. I mean, the hardest one is the first one. The hardest one is winning the first one.
that's true.
And Kofi did it finally. Now you can talk about him being a WWE champion and saying, hey, if we want to put the belt back on him, it's possible, because we've seen it before.
We've
It's
already
been done.
established that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I said Jinder Mahal too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as horrible as that sounds, but if you got Jinder with the two big men as his heaters and there's some legitimacy there, actually, matter of fact, he won it with Bollywood.
Yeah.
Jinder did.
He did.
You know what I mean? So he didn't even need two big ass heaters. He was his own motherfucking heater.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was the heater. Yeah, he was huge.
He was the heater. So there you go. So that's all I'm saying about that. So sorry to you, Big E, for losing, but no.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar, baby. That's my winner of the week.
Nice.
Or my
So
big four. Excuse me.
mine, I'm gonna go left turn, but Tony Storm leaving is gonna be mine. That's gonna be my
Ooh, your
My-
take of the week, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, I like that because I just hope that she goes to AEW, man. I really do.
Yeah, me too.
That's where I want to see her. I hope she doesn't go to New Japan because I mean her
That's
guy.
a good possibility, though.
Well, her
Yeah,
guy was.
Juice Robinson is over there. Yeah.
I think he's in Impact too. I think he's been doing a lot of shit on Impact. He was their tag team champions for a little while.
She
Maybe
goes
she'll
But if
show
she
up in
goes to-
Impact if nothing else.
That's not good. That's not good for business.
Well, no, not again. I mean, you got some good people over here. Donna
Come on,
Purrazzo.
man. Nobody watches that shit, dude.
I mean, that's why
Nobody's
they just
watching
need to
it.
be absorbed by AEW. But you're right, Kimmy. Back to what you're saying. Tony Storm is where
Well, it's
it's at.
just weird. We've had two major title storylines just literally ripped out from under us this week. If you think about it, because
Yeah,
fucking
that's
Roman
true.
was out with COVID, and then fucking Tony Storm just was like, bye.
Peace. Yeah.
So it's kind of weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
But anyway, Mr.
Nine active women on the roster.
Oh, shit,
9. Talk about diversity. That's not diversity
No.
in any means of the situation.
No.
I'm gonna have to piggyback off Mike. That women's tag team match was fucking.
Nice. It was awesome, dude.
It was, yeah, it was.
It's like the highlight of the week. Well, one of the highlights of the week, man.
But does it take that much brutality to be good? Well, no. I would say I would answer that wrong question by saying
I'm not
no.
going to
I
say
would
the
say
brutality.
I mean, it's another level in the women's division. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't
Yeah,
see
they
too
took it
many
up
of
a
them
notch, right.
street fight matches. It's always a standard kind of match for the most part. So to see them do a match like that and have such a great match like that, they could do it more often.
Dude, and they
Yeah.
were really going for it. They're not like, ooh, like, oh,
No,
thumbtacks.
yeah.
Oh, they're really like, I'm fucking gonna suplex your ass into
Yeah.
these, basically. Like,
Well, dude, and to me, I just feel like this kind of match, it's kind of goes back to like Hunter, when Hunter and Mick had those matches where the hardcore matches, and it just helps elevate that character and kind of puts that character in another level from where they were. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like, because when we've seen Hunter Hearst Helmsley, we've seen him as the pompous, crass, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like the aristocrat, fucking, you know. But then he started having these matches with Mankind, dude, and he's like, you know, then all of a sudden here comes Cactus Jack. Now they're having a hardcore match, and it's like, oh wow, so they took it there, you know what I mean? And then they had the cage match and all the crazy shit. So I feel like this just helps elevate the character to that next level. You know, and it just kind of adds more of a little bit of legitimacy to
well,
him.
we all know that everyone's gonna say, oh, wrestling's fake, quote unquote. But dude, those bumps are real. The pain is real.
Yeah,
you know what I
dude.
mean?
They earn
Like,
my respect, man.
Yeah, dude.
Don't say that F word, Kimmy. Come on, that's not nice.
Excuse me, I apologize.
But
yeah.
And just going back to your Triple H statement, you know, Triple H was doing it before that. Remember that match, the slop pit match?
Yeah,
or
but that's all gaga, man. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
bro. Did you see what happened to him in that match?
Well, yeah, he got scratched and fucking he was all had his
whole
back in the shit.
and then what the fan did to him too, like.
Oh, I didn't see what the fan. I don't remember what the fan did.
Oh, they threw a cup of soda at him right in his face, right in his head, bro, from like deep. That shit exploded on his face, bro. Go back and watch that. Anybody
I
Go back
don't.
and
That
watch
was
that
In Your House, wasn't
match.
it? Yeah.
Yes,
I
and it was
couldn't
the
tell
slop or the hog pin match. At the end of the match, Triple H is getting up, and he slips a couple of times, but then he finally gets up, and just a whole thing of Coca-Cola, right to his face.
Dude.
Oh, it just
Hilarious.
explodes. It's funny. We'll look that up. Anyway,
Nice.
go ahead.
But yeah, no, that women's match was great.
Yeah, I just
I
wanted
didn't
to
want
give
to. I didn't
props.
want to just pick the same thing. I thought I'd throw in that for diversity. You know.
Nice. Oh, diversity.
Speaking of
That word
diversity.
again. This is all shots at Big Swole, I guess, huh? Nobody wants to touch on this?
I'll touch on it. Fuck it. Big Swole, you want to talk about diversity in AEW? The AEW, in my opinion, has done more things in diversity for wrestling than any other company. I'll just say a couple of things. Number one, you have some of the biggest, blackest stars in there in main event roles. Jay
Jade.
Carhill, Hobbs, Okay, you got Taz, who's an Italian boy from Brooklyn, got his son over here. His son is killing it right now. Young talent getting it. Okay, you got CM Punk rubbing it with young talent. You got Sting in there helping Darby Allin rubbing it with young talent, establishing people.
Dude,
All
Thunder
types of
Rosa,
Transgender
fucking-
world champion.
Hello?
and then on top of that, I didn't even touch on the fact of one, Thunder Rosa, like you said, in one of the big spots in a match before that. Not to mention the women, like we said before, headlining a major show on television, giving a fucking 5-star match in the Tokyo Dome. You had your first ever in the history, I repeat, in the history of professional wrestling, televised wise, like on a world stage,
national television, correct.
national television wise, in the history of that type of wrestling, you had a transgender wrestler, not to mention
Champion.
a transgender wrestler winning the championship.
Yeah.
Not to mention you got Sonny Kiss running around the damn whole locker room.
Dude, and
Even
not
the
only that,
women's locker room.
Riho, the very first women's
Japanese.
Champion.
thank you, Japanese. She's not
Anorexic and everything like that.
Oh,
she
well,
went to that. Like,
you
come
went
on,
a
you
little far there,
that's
but-
a
I don't know
little
about
far fetched.
anorexicness.
But still, regardless of the fact, diversity AEW has diversity. They welcome you from all walks of life. You could be anybody you want. You got Homeboy in the Acclaim, his tag team partner. He's definitely out there. Isn't he LGBTQ?
Oh, yeah,
LMNOP?
100%.
You know what I mean? 100%.
Yeah.
So don't talk about this. You got these characters featured on television. You got these characters featured in premiere spots. Just because your big swole ass didn't get no big push, don't be a big wah wah. So you know what? My second wah wah award of the week goes to who?
Big Swole.
You should take back your previous.
Yeah, I think she should just get it.
Yeah, you should take back your previous wah wah and just give it to her.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
it
take
just
back-
sounds like sour grapes. In
It
my
does
opinion,
sound like
dude.
sour grapes. Well, then, what's his face? The little guy who just got signed. He's got like dreads, kind of. He's like the shorter guy. What's
Oh,
his
Leo
name?
Rush.
He was on Twitter basically like saying Tony Khan needs to apologize. Basically, like just apologize AEW and Tony Khan, like basically on Big Swole's side, saying that like mistreatment and all that kind of bullshit was kind
Wait, Leo Rush was saying like back in Swole.
yeah, basically saying that like
man.
like Tony
Well,
Khan
he's
needs to
already-
apologize and stuff.
Apologize for what?
Right here, let me see if I can
What?
pull it up.
See, and here's the thing: Leo Rush has a history of this too with the WWE, where it was like, you know, there was a veteran that was like making a young boy fucking carry his bags and shit. Just like it's just wrestling tradition, dude. It's just paying your dues. It's.
No,
I'm not
shit
saying it's
happens,
right.
bro.
It's just like rookie hazing kind of shit. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And you know, shit happens. We've all gone through
It's
it in
locker
some way,
room
shape, or
bullshit. Yeah,
form
dude.
in our life. And if we haven't gone through it in any way, shape, or form of our life, then you know what? Kudos to you for just being a pompous ass.
And it's
bitch.
just all about respect, dude, and just respecting your elders. And it's like, hey man, these guys helped pave the way. Like even Mark Henry said, because like that was the big thing with Leo Rush in WWE. He was having to carry a motherfucker's bags, and he's like, dude, what the fuck? He's like, what? Here I am, this young black man carrying this motherfucker's bags. Like, what does that look like? And I get it. I understand his point. But even Mark Henry pulled him to the side and was like, look, dude, this is not a race thing. Like, you're making this about race. Like, this is a pay your dues, earn
Right,
your
this is rookie to
stripes, get the
veteran,
respect
baby.
thing.
This is
Mark
rookie to
Henry's like,
veteran.
I fucking carried motherfuckers' bags too. And it was
he
never
carried
about
the
that.
Rocks bags.
He carried the
Rocks
rocks bags. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's just about a respect thing, dude. And you come in,
and wait
you
a minute,
pay your
didn't
dues.
Hunter carry Sean's bags? Wasn't that the whole story?
Well,
all,
Hunter
all
carried
through
Sean
the years.
to bed most times. Like Sean
Yeah,
couldn't carry
Hun-
himself up
Hun-
the stairs.
Yeah, Hunter. I'm saying Hunter carried Sean's bags in the sense
Yeah.
of Hunter got the shit because of the click shit.
But it's just,
Hunter got
it's just, you
shitted
know, it's
on.
like you got to pay your dues, man. And they
Right,
they
shit
turned it
happens.
into a fucking race thing. It's not a race thing, dude. For fuck's sake, you know what I mean?
Dude, I know it's
You're blowing it way out of proportion because just like AJ, just like you just said, you literally just went from A to Z on why there is 100% diversity in this company. She just didn't get put in a role that she felt like she deserved, and that was that. And you know, I'm sorry, but like you said off camera and off recording, who the fuck is paying to go see Big Swole?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody, dude.
I'm not.
And I'm not going to discredit her work. I mean, she's a good talent, but dude, she's not who she thinks that she is in her head. You know what I mean?
At least not
So-
yet.
And
She's still very young in the wrestling business.
No, she isn't.
No.
She's been in this shit for like what, 15,
yeah,
20 years.
she's been in
No,
she's
really?
been in indies
I
for a
thought-
while.
no.
Yeah,
Her
man,
and Cedric,
that's what
yeah.
exactly, Mr. B.
I don't know
exactly.
her.
You're proving the point, Mr. B, on why Big Swole ain't shit. You proved the point right there.
Nobody's heard of her before AEW. You know what I mean? Unless you were a
Yeah.
super indie fan, like, you
Right.
know, follows Ring of Honor and kind of like how Cam and all them are with like college football, where they're looking at the high school ranks and shit.
Well,
Like they're
right.
into that. Whereas
Who's
like,
coming? Who's up and
you
coming?
know,
Who's up and coming? Right?
yeah, who's up underneath like catching fire type of shit.
Well,
you
and
know?
this might make me sound some kind of way, but like they're gonna hire who's talented, not by the color of your skin or your race or sexual orientation or whatever.
So dumb. They've proven that already.
So
it's ridiculous.
It's like so it just kind of makes me sad because like let's just all be fair, like the pool of wrestlers is majority white dudes. Like let's just be real about that. Okay, I mean seriously though, if we go to indie shows, if we go to fucking it is like even the dudes in the back, like
It's
it's
all white people crazy.
I mean, there you go. I'm not trying to. I mean, it's seriously though. But if it's so, I mean, it's culturally too a little bit different. You know what I mean? And
You ain't throwing Mark Henry's black ass off the Hell in a Cell. You ain't throwing Bobby Lashley's black ass off the Hell in a Cell. But you damn sure throwing Mick Foley's white ass off Hell in a Cell. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
but anyway, so I'm not saying like they're not just gonna pull different races and ethnicities, excuse me, in order to just fill some sort of like equal opportunity
Like
employer
quota,
card.
yeah,
Do you know what I'm
it's
trying to
all
say?
quota.
Like,
right, and they have
and they
yeah,
have though too. But
right,
it's,
they have, but it's to the fact of like, are you talented? Are you gonna thrive in this spot? Like you said, AJ. Hey, she just should go to NXT, bro. Because if she wants to go be a pro
Yeah.
wrestler and she wants to play a role, but she would never work there because the politics and she, you know.
No, not at all. I think
She thinks that
works
she's
perfect.
way bigger and better than she is. And look, man, if they maybe if they featured her a little bit more, you know, and it's no different than Drew. It's no different than Drew when she was kind of starting to get a little push in AEW. COVID fucking hit and it kind of killed that whole thing because she was kind of right there with like Red Velvet and doing that whole
Well,
thing and
Big Swole.
yeah,
No,
and
Big
then
Swole's biggest push was with Britt when Britt broke her leg.
well, that's what I'm saying, and that was
Yeah.
right before COVID, and then that whole like backstage segment when like fucking Jade
That
slapped
dentist
whoever
match.
the fuck got slapped.
Oh yeah, that's right, with Brandy and all that
And
shit.
yeah, but she came in there and she was like throwing fucking haymakers and shit. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know, man.
See, it's
she's
bad that we
got
gotta
herself
just
built
try-
up in her own mind a little too big.
Well-
It just
well, here's
sounds
the
like
deal.
sour grapes.
Here's the deal. All I'm saying is that Big Swole, if you wanted to make an impression, you had plenty of opportunity to do it. Because you talk about not diversity, they gave you a spot against Britt Baker. Britt was one of the hottest stars on the roster,
Mm-hmm.
and this is before she won the belt.
She was on the
And they
climb,
put-
yeah.
Yeah, and they put you in a good storyline with her. You got the payoff match with that match in the dentist's office. Then what, Britt? Then what? What'd you do? I mean, I'm sorry, not Britt. Then Swole, what? What did you do for me? You didn't give me any thought process of saying okay, because I think
Wait, that's right. She had the match in the dentist office against Britt,
Yeah,
right? See, I already
against
forgot
Britt.
about that. I forgot all about
Yeah.
that. That's
That
how
match
that's
was
how
great.
uneventful that shit was. And that was a
No, that
great
match was
idea.
great.
Yeah.
That match was super hilarious.
Yeah.
Like Britt was like, I know my way around here, and it was just like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It was great. But it was like, you know, maybe they could have moved to the Thunder Rosa. Oh wait, no, they moved Britt to Thunder Rosa because Britt was where the money was at.
Right.
People wanted to see Britt more than that. And then Britt had the match with Thunder that just
Yeah, and
that
how
was-
you
that
gonna
was-
blame Tony Khan for wanting to go with who the fans are fucking calling for? That's
Right.
not fair, dude. What the fuck? You know what I mean?
Not.
Like
that's
that's
not
that's
being
not
diverse.
right,
that's
man.
that's showing favoritism at that point.
That's being
Because if
selfish,
he's like,
bro.
yeah, that's being selfish. Oh, I think I should get the push to do what?
And great, and keep that same energy, but just work harder. You know what I mean? Work
Exactly.
on your craft better. Work on your promos. Maybe you know what I mean. Try to find something that fits with your character in the crowd that connects. You know what I mean? Because nothing ever connected with me with her. You know what I mean? Like I never felt like any kind of way. You know.
oh,
So
here.
I don't know.
God, yeah, that's
Oh,
all
did you
it
find
is.
it?
What are you looking for?
So Leo Rush's tweet and stuff, because well, here's the
It's
thing.
just super vague. Look at that bullshit.
Because basically what he said was like, oh, the top two AEW, what is that? EXECs?
Wait, what?
EVPs?
Execs.
Executive.
I'm like, what does that even say? Okay, so the top AEW execs are brown, is what it says. Me and Mega.
Me and Mega, okay.
And then it says Jade, Bowens, Caster, Dante, Nyla, Isaiah, and Mark Quinn all won on TV this month. The TBS title tournament has been very diverse. I let Swole's contract expire as I felt her wrestling wasn't good enough.
Ooh.
That's what he said.
That's Tony Khan?
That's what he said. And everyone wants him to apologize for that.
Ooh, that might be a little...
Well, I mean...
That might be a little kit. I mean, but it's his opinion. That's all it is.
But what did he say there that's so out of line?
Well, he's just defending himself, going, "Look, we've been very diverse. Like, what are you fucking talking about?" See, this is where he's. Oh no! This is where he should never even have responded.
No,
he should have talked to her personally. He should have reached out to her personally and said, "Hey, look, I'm sorry you feel this way. We have a lot of fucking diversity, dude. This is not the reason why. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Like him, because Vince McMahon would never do that." Even a 30-year-old Vince McMahon in today's day and age wouldn't go on Twitter and be like, "Hey, fuck you. We have plenty of diversity." So Tony Khan plays a little too much into
because even
this bullshit.
Like it says here that Swole's husband Cedric Alexander tweeted a little defensive, huh? And then Leo Rush tweeted that he's not cool with it. He's pissed, and that the situation is "quote unquote" fucked up.
Well, Cedric is her husband, so
right.
That's
Cedric
biased.
Alexander.
That's her husband, so you can't take that for a grain of salt.
Come on,
and
man.
then Leo Rush, whatever.
Look, that's sour grapes, bro.
Well, and then Britt Baker's catching heat too because she retweeted Tony Khan's tweet, and so everyone's like, "Oh, Britt, you're on his."
It's so dumb. So people are trying to make this a fucking war, dude. It's so dumb.
Well, here's what I'm saying though. Tony Khan coming out and making that statement is justifying the fact of what he let her go for. That part I understand. But, like you said, Vince would never come out and take it personally. What Vince would do is the WWE would release a statement on behalf of the company. AEW should have released a statement on behalf of the company to make it more official and professional based upon if you really want to appear more professional. So that's the first mistake, Tony. Second mistake, you don't have to sit there and justify your reasoning on letting an employee go.
Nope.
If an
Especially
employee feels
Twitter.
a certain type of
Exactly.
right, and if an employee feels a certain type of way, guess what? Us fans, we can look at that and be like, that's bullshit. I'm just sitting here and listed every single thing that's diverse about this damn company. If Tony Khan wanted to make a statement, all he could have did was said, our company shows diversity in all storyline and talent that we generally have, just notably, and listed a couple of people and moved on.
That's probably even why he's catching heat because he's like, oh, this person, almost like quote unquote counting your friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's probably why people are a little like pissy about it.
He never should have responded. I mean, honestly, like you said, the company should have put something out if they even wanted to go that far. But you know,
at most,
that's childish back and forth bullshit. You know.
Well, I mean, in reading her stuff, I mean, I'm not going to say she's not justified in feeling the way she feels.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
exactly.
But
her feelings are her feelings, but it's not valid.
It may not be like you may be taking it more personally and out of context than what someone is meaning or intending it to deliver. You know what I'm saying?
Well, also don't just go and start calling motherfuckers out on empty, accusations, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like
that shit pisses me off.
I mean, Tony Khan's got every right to come out and defend himself. You know what I mean. However,
I think
you got to go about it a little bit.
Well, and he's new at being like the main guy, the fucking Vince. Do you know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. So
you got to remember, Eric Bischoff wouldn't have done that either.
Yeah.
WCW would have. Vince wouldn't have done that. Even fucking Paul Heyman wouldn't have done that. ECW would have done that. Because what does Paul Heyman say? No, Paul Heyman doesn't owe you money. ECW owes you money.
Yeah. But anyway.
But I don't know, man.
And it's not shots at her, man. It's not. It's just like, hey, man, sometimes it's not, It's not as easy as black and white. You know what I mean?
Well, and don't look. Well, and don't try to read too much into something. It's like, hey, I'm sorry. Maybe there's an influx of talent that's coming in that's way better than you, and he's got to clear some fucking space. Like, I'm sorry. Don't take everything so fucking personal. Yeah. It's a fucking job. The Indies is thriving right now. I'm sure she can go find work anywhere in the Indies, and she'll make a lot of money, dude. Like,
well, and that's the thing too. When you think of pro wrestling, dude. Pro wrestling at its core is very inconsistent. It's very,
Yeah, dude.
it's a lot of the unknown. You don't know when your next match is. You don't know when your last match
hustle.
is going to be. You know what I mean? You could be on the top of the card today and at the bottom tomorrow. It's all very much shifting and changing always. So you can't be like, oh, well, I'm at AEW now, so I'm just going to live here now, and this is just my job now. Like, you got to still hustle. You got to still fucking prove yourself.
Look at Jericho.
And
Jericho's been evolving for 30 fucking years.
Exactly.
Well, and not to mention, one, Mike, to correct you, you do not make a lot of money on the indies, bro. So
What the fuck you mean,
You got-
bro? Yes, if you're established, you can make plenty of money on the indies. There's motherfuckers that are working exclusively on the indies right now, paying their fucking mortgage.
Way
bro.
more than we make.
100%.
Well, right. I'm talking about as far as the constant flow of income, because with COVID
If you're
and all
good,
other
bro,
shit hit,
you're getting booked everywhere. That's all I'm saying. If you're that good, like she says she is, she can go make money and make a living on the indies.
I see what you're saying here now.
Right. Well, you see what I'm
Just
saying.
good if
I'm
she
not saying
says she is.
I'm not
Right.
saying everybody and their mom can go make money on the indies. No, because otherwise, AJ, we'd be there right now. You know what I mean?
It was hard.
But
man.
if you're
It
top
hurt.
AEW talent, then you should be able to get a job anywhere.
So I'm saying, like, if she's as good as she says she is, then she shouldn't have a
she
problem
feels
getting booked anywhere.
she feels like she's like Eddie Guerrero going to Ring of Honor, or going over there.
Like, what a disgrace. Like, I'm way better than this type of shit. I don't know, dude.
That's a shit attitude to have, because even Jericho's like, hey, I'm going to go wrestle here. I'm going to go wrestle there because I want to and I love it, not because I need the money or want the money or just because I want to be number one.
Oh, you don't have a program for me? Oh, how about this? How about this idea with this person right here? He's not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing.
Yeah.
Let's do this. And I'm not saying she didn't do that, but
We don't know. We don't know all the details, but from
Yeah.
what the details they do.
Well, from what Tony Khan is pretty much saying, he could give two shits, man. She just wasn't it, and I get it. Sometimes people just not it. If it's not your cup of tea, don't be mad that somebody's not your cup of tea. Just be like, okay, well, look at. Oh my God, Drew fucking McIntyre. His first go run, that motherfucker was supposed to be what, the fucking next fucking John Cena Hulk
Yeah,
Hogan.
and then COVID hit, just like what happened to fucking
No, I'm talking about Drew's first.
Oh, and the chosen one, when he first.
The chosen one, right?
okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He thought he was the bee's knees.
Yep.
And
And
what
then he
did he
got
do?
fired.
He did exactly what you said. He went and proved it. He went and proved them wrong.
Well, yeah,
and
after he
became-
got fired, right?
Right. After he got fired, he proved them wrong.
Right.
And came back, and it took a long time. Maybe Big Swole, like Kimmy said, maybe this is, and like you said, maybe this is Big Swole's wake-up call. Prove it.
Well, she's got a kid too. She got a baby at the house too, so that's
And
gonna
she
be
like
kind of
48
hard.
years old. So get the fuck out of here.
So I mean,
Fuck outta here.
I don't know. Hey, like I said, dude, I'm not gonna discredit her. She could go get booked on the indies and work and all that, but sour grapes in my opinion. But let's not spend too many more minutes on.
All right, winners and losers.
Let's do winners and losers.
Winners.
All right, Kimmy, who's your winner of the week?
My winner is. I want to say Ty Conti, and
The women,
yeah.
nice.
The
I think
women's.
Ty Conte?
Yeah,
Ty Conte
Yeah.
for getting Sammy, right? Finally?
Here's the thing: Sammy went off TV, and she's like, "I'm gonna go crush it."
she did
So
too.
she- No, I'm
Like
saying
nobody
she
was
got
thinking about
Guevara.
Sammy Guevara watching that match with her. You know what I
No,
mean?
we were all just thinking, "Wow, you bitches are beating the shit out of each other," and I
Yeah.
love this.
And that's what they're supposed to do. Suspend your disbelief, take your mind off it.
That is my winner.
Oh, good shit. Who you got, Mr. B?
Storm's my winner.
She's your winner
Storm.
because she's getting out of the.
She's getting out of the
hell.
Yeah.
She's getting out of hell. Wow. Damn, Mike, tell us how you really feel.
Hey, that would feel like hell. I'm just saying.
Mikey.
My winner is
sorry.
Brock. Brock Lesnar.
Of course.
Yeah, because he came in, won the WWE title, and who the fuck knows where we're going now?
You like how he introduced
curious.
himself, by the way, backstage, where he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"I am Brock
Yeah.
Lesnar." That shit made me laugh.
And he keeps saying his advocate. He keeps saying his advocate.
That shit's funny as hell. Anyway, AJ, who's your winner?
So I think we're gonna do a snake winner. We'll do some snake winner or loser because mine's just kind of tie into each other. So I might as well just do it that way. So we'll go backwards that way. So I'll do my winner and then my loser right after.
Okay.
So my winner this week, Obviously me, baby. Come on. Are you kidding me? Who better than AJ? Like, get
The
the hell
fall is
out
gonna
of
be
here.
so
Which just
far.
brings me to my loser this week, Mr. B.
Oh, damn.
Mr. B, don't you ever, and I mean ever, come for my crown again.
Oh, I
Back
will.
to
Don't
you
worry.
guys in
That's
studio.
hilarious. That's hilarious.
I think I passed this wrong way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess is it me then?
Yeah.
Yes, it's you.
It's me. So my loser is the WWE Women's Division. Is because
they lost
and
this
it's
week, dog.
piggybacking off of Mr. B, yeah, because Tony Storm left, dude. Like that was like a legit program I was interested in for the women's title, and now she's just like, fuck it, I'm out. And
9, Mike. 9 people.
They got
9.
9 motherfuckers, dude, on the women's roster.
What's gonna happen, Kimmy? I think you bring up the best point ever. What is gonna happen with this women's Royal Rumble?
Lots of
Just
NXT
like-
women, dude, for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of weird, random
Yeah.
randos, and then you know who's gonna win out of the 9 fucking available people. Well, I mean that's only in fact SmackDown.
It's time
I guess,
to
or-
it's time to heat up Rhea again, I think. So they gotta
Either that or bring back Asuka.
and Bailey. I mean, they got to be coming back
And
really
Bayley.
Where
soon,
the
right?
fuck is Bailey? Please, for the love of God, come back.
Yeah.
Hashtag bring back Bailey.
Hashtag bring back Bailey.
Yeah, dude.
Christ.
All right. Who you got, Kim?
No,
Mr. B? I
Who's
believe?
your loser?
Oh, my loser? Swole.
Oh.
Oh.
She's a loser, baby.
Yeah.
So why don't
She's
you
talking shit about
wah?
shit she don't know.
She's eating all them sour grapes. Kimmy.
Kimmy, who's your winner? Loser, excuse me. Loser.
It might be random and kind of sideways, but Tamina.
Oh, Tamina.
Here's the reason why. They could be doing so much more with her, and they're putting her in a random mixed tag with fucking R-Truth.
Yep.
And with Reggie against Dana for like the 24/7 title. That's a 1-person title, first of all. What? It just, that whole
Yeah.
thing, talking about misuse of talent, dude. Tamina's a powerhouse, and she could be doing so much more.
She was just the women's tag champs like not too long ago.
Hello. So why the fuck are they just, again, randomly throwing people together just like, here,
Because
go
nobody
do some
writes
stuff.
anything. Like nobody has any fucking direction when it comes to writing, because they got all these people from ABC and CBS and fucking wherever the fuck that have never watched wrestling a day in their life, and they're like, okay, here, write stories for our characters.
Well, for the few amount of women in the pool that you have to pick from,
especially, yeah.
dude, yeah, that's a waste of talent right there. Like Dana Brooke's cool, whatever. Like she's,
We need to see
she's
some
great, but
trades.
she's not like top. You know what I'm saying? My opinion. But Tamina could be.
Yeah, Tamina's
what I
part
mean?
of the fucking bloodline.
So yeah, I don't know. Misuse. Anyway, that was my loser.
And Tamina and the Usos were a thing back like when the Usos first came in. Wasn't Tamina with them?
Yep, they were a group of
That's what I'm saying.
the Samoans.
You could tie all that back together. I mean,
But
she's,
it's just a huge missed opportunity, in my opinion. It's like,
yeah, it is.
why is that happening? It's just a waste of time and energy. Anyway,
They're like, we literally don't have anything for you, and we can only have like 2 women's matches on our show because Vince says so.
well, and for
So-
like 2.5 seconds, they had Reggie in a match, and they were like, oh, like, you know, trying to make the title like legitimate for like a second instead of having it some bullshit like running around Minneapolis in the snow or whatever.
yeah,
So it's just kind of like, well, now it's stupid again,
yeah,
and you're making a joke out of it. I don't know, it's just weird, and like the way that they're teaming people up randomly too is just weird. Like R-Truth and
sense.
fucking why?
yeah. Why? Because they're like, we don't have anything for you, and we want to get you on TV, but we don't really have anything for you.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway.
Because even like all the backstages for the 24/7 title, where they're all dressed up in like, you know, the fucking ghillie suits and the fucking, you know, it's so dumb. It's just
This is just a thought that came to my head. This 24/7 title, seeing as how now, I mean, it is a joke.
oh yeah,
It's a joke. Why not change it? Try to make it something better. You've already had a couple. You've already have a woman holding it now. Why don't you make it like a actual universal title, like universal sex title?
oh, like an
A
intergender
unisex
title.
It's
that'd be
getting
cool.
there. It's getting there. It's happening on the.
I mean,
indies.
technically, it is. It is kind
Yeah.
of, if you think about it, because anybody can win it. Man, woman, child.
All
who
right.
cares?
And then make it legit by putting it on
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar.
Oh my god.
Oh,
And then he just holds it for the rest of all
Right.
time.
Yeah, who's beating Brock for that?
Drew.
Would it be cool if they rebranded it the TV title?
I would love that.
But
See,
then
that's the way to do
the
it.
TV title can be won at any time, anywhere.
Oh.
on any brand.
Yeah. So when you're holding, you're just always could be potentially up for, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you're on camera,
Yeah.
that title's on the line.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether you're driving to the airport, whether you're
Yeah.
if we're televising this, is this being? You'd be like, wait, is this being televised? Oh shit!
Yeah, because
You'd
then
be
it
looking around.
that's true. Because then it would make sense because you're not like always, but yeah, it's not the quote unquote 24/7 title. But if you're on TV, someone could come for you at any
yeah.
time.
If you're there at the arena or whatever
Right.
when TV's happening,
Yep.
I do like that.
That'd be a way to get a TV title without having a TV title.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And what
Anyway.
happens if you what happens if you go to like an AEW event and they catch you on TV? You're sitting there eating popcorn, watching a match. and someone from AEW pins you.
Oh.
I mean, you would have to go with it, but Vince would be so pissed.
No way that
Why?
happens.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, I would kick out.
I would just kick out.
Yeah.
All day. I'll move.
I'll move. Yeah.
All right, MACKDOwn Podcast listeners. So
All right.
we are going to start we did have a watch along, I think, not last week, but the week prior. Right?
Yes, not last week, but the week. Yeah.
And
And
so
we could make that an every other week thing too, if you guys want to.
yeah, even once a month. You
Yeah,
know,
who
whatever.
knows? Yeah.
But next week we are going to be doing a watch along. However, we're going to pick it right now,
Yeah.
so that way we all know, where to find it.
Have it queued up,
Have
ready
it
to
queued
go.
up, ready to go. We're going to start next week's show with a watch along.
Yeah.
What we're going to pick now. I'm losing, so does that mean I get to pick?
Yep. Go ahead and make the pick, Miss 76 points.
Just remind me. Just fucking throw my shit out on blast. right.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I
you wanna
never
open
get
it?
to pick.
Nope, you can do it.
Oh,
Go on.
okay, I get to.
And survey says she's opening it now, as you can hear.
Is it one of mine again?
Looks like chicken scratch, so probably.
Uh-oh.
No, I write very neat.
JBL versus Big Show. Barbed wire
yeah, that
cage
is mine.
match,
That is
WWE
mine.
title.
Barbed
Hell
wire
yeah.
cage match.
Yep.
Do you remember that? He choke
No.
slammed him through the ring, bro.
Wow.
Well, we're gonna watch it next week at the beginning of next week's show, so look forward to that. JBL versus Big Show, barbed wire cage match.
All right.
What
That's
we'll
one
have
of my
to figure
favorite
out
matches.
what season and
Yeah, I was gonna say we may have. Yeah, we're gonna have to look into that and see when exactly that show was, and maybe we should have done that. Maybe we should have wrote the dates and the fucking.
No, we'll find it for you guys, and then we'll post it in the show notes for next week's pod, so you know
Yeah.
where to find it. Where to start in the pay-per-view, because we'll do a countdown with you guys. We'll tell
Yeah.
you, at what time in the pay-per-view.
Yeah, we'll have it kind of set to where it's like we'll get right before they come out.
But we'll run it all down for you, so that way you guys can find it and we'll watch along.
Yeah, these little random things are.
So that, by the
interesting.
way, that was from WWE No Way Out 2005. Big Show versus JBL in the first ever barbed wire steel cage match.
Ooh, first
That's
ever.
coming to you next week, live and in person on the MACKDOwn podcast.
Well, not
Nice.
Kimmy?
So that's 3 of AJ's, by the way, that have been
Yeah, it
picked.
kinda
just so
pisses
you
me
guys
off.
know. So AJ,
He's the champ, baby.
you got no more in there. You've only put 3
No
in there,
more.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, so he's
Yep.
done.
Good.
That's it.
Watch him throw another one in there when we pick that shit. I'll be mad.
Be
It's
like,
because
it
I'm the
wasn't me,
champion,
wasn't
man.
me.
It's the universe telling you I am a fantasy wrestling god.
Well, says the man born on Jesus Day.
Jesus Day.
Don't choke on that. pop.
You're gonna meet Jesus sooner than you expected.
Oh, no shit.
Oh shit!
Like, damn. Like you say something so. Oh wait,
So wrong,
wrong.
So wrong.
wrong.
So wrong. It's not right.
Well, thank you guys for listening to another edition
We're
of
absurd.
the MACKDOwn Podcast.
Yes.
It was fun. It was a
It
good
was-
one.
it
This
was.
is number 23 to be exact. In fact.
In fact.
Yes.
Exact, in fact.
See, it's a thing now.
Mount Mushmore.
Mount Mushmore.
Mark Structure.
That was incredible because you just kept rolling like it was nothing. You were just like,
Hey, look, I
You
was
just-
speaking in my mind, baby. Speaking in my mind, baby. What I was saying might not have been saying it in my mind, baby.
All right, well, all right, cool. So it looks like we are done.
We
I believe
are
so.
out.
Let's ring that
Let's
bell.
ring the bell. And anybody got any last things? Follow us at MACKDOWN Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that fun things. Get us
on
to 100
YouTube,
subscribers, damn it.
Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
Well, not
else we-
Facebook.
Well, not Facebook.
Yeah, we don't do Facebook. That's too.
That's old people shit.
That,
That makes
Hold on,
Facebook
damn,
just makes
producers.
everybody angry all the time.
yeah, it makes me angry.
It's
Yeah,
a
it
little too
definitely does.
controversial.
But you know what doesn't make me angry? The championship makes me so happy. And me being happy means I'm a little hungry. So what does that mean?
It means
Hit the stop record button now.
yeah, it's time to end. All right, we out.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Love you all.
Bye.
Didn't you forget I have those magical Jesus powers?
I guess so. Why am I fucking so poor? Fuck, bro.
Because I can only do certain things. You know what I mean?
He's like,
I have
that's it.
limits to my powers.
Yeah, it's only just this one thing, this one specific thing, where I can get points on fantasy wrestling.
Fantasy
and-
wrestling.
What a worthless fucking superpower.
Like, hey, it's finally been utilized. I can finally utilize this fucking thing.
I've been waiting my whole life.